Hey, folks. Good evening. Hey, yeah, it's Wednesday night again already. Wow. Yeah, a whole week went by. Wow. Gosh dang it. Yep. It's been one of them kind of weeks for me anyway. It seems like every day I'm wondering what day it is. Just that kind of week. Just that kind of week. I had all kinds of different things going on every day. And just boom, 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 boom. Just kept me spinning in circles. Yep. Hey, I see that we had, there we go. Kathy Gahan was the first one that popped in the chat over there this evening. Then Rebecca Felter. Then Kimberly Ferris. Hi, everybody. Hi, you gals. And there's Joe W. Life Adventures. We want Sty. We want Sty. We want Sty. Sty wants you. Yeah, I've been waiting for this. Yeah. Share it out, guys. I hope we get some folks come and hang out tonight. Um, yeah. I'm needing some YouTube time. I got a fella down in the basement, but he's not in his basement. He's in my basement, but he's not in his basement. So when he's in his basement, I'll pull him up and catch up with him a little bit. This week on my channel, there's only a couple of videos that are going to be posted up this week. I think one Saturday, one Monday. They're both pretty good videos. I think you'll enjoy them. But that's all the video work I was able to get in this week. It was kind of busy out at camp. This week. Just a lot of camp chores, and I don't know what it was about this week. My one campground, East Twin, only had one and sometimes two empty campsites per night for the last, 9 nights. What happened is almost all my sites filled up on reservations, and then when all these people get there on the same dang day, and they're all staying for 2 weeks, find out it's one huge family. All the in-laws, outlaws, all of them, they all rented campsites. They're there for 2 weeks. And thank goodness, so far it's gone well. Hey, here he is. He's back in his basement. So I can pull him out of my basement. Here he is. Hey, if I still had an appetite, Bill, yeah, I'd be joining you.
Yeah, that's what I did. A leftover piece of pizza.
Yeah. I cooked a pizza early this afternoon, and those are the leftovers.
Well, my boy cooked this pizza, so I took it. It was leftover, so.
Oh, snatched theirs, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good though. That's good to do. I remember my kids were terrible. I'd have a day off, a Saturday. If I was real lucky, it was a Saturday. Sundays I always had off, but a lot of times I worked 6 days a week. And I remember so many times coming home, ask the wife, did the kids eat? Oh, yeah, they're all fed, blah, 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 blah. Oh, cool. I'd go to the freezer, grab a pizza, throw it in the oven.
Also, room for pizza.
That pizza would get done. I'd cut the damn thing. And I'd walk in to change the channel on my TV or something and then go back to get a few pieces up. And I'd look and there's one piece left on there. The whole family attacked it and ate the whole damn thing, took all of my pizza and left me with one lousy piece, sometimes none. So I came home one night with a 12-pack of pop and a pizza from the local pizzeria, a good pizza, fresh. I got a TV tray, set it in front of my recliner, set that whole pizza on it, set that cold 12-pack next to my chair, turned the TV on, and the kids could smell that pizza through the house. Boy, they just come running. And I told them, I said, I said, you can watch. You ain't eating none. I made them kids sit there watch me eat that pizza and drink my pop while I'm watching television. And my wife said, "Well, that's terrible of you to do that." I said, "That's what I get to do every time I try to make a pizza. I get to sit and watch everybody else eat pizza, and a lot of times I don't have it." I said, "It's my damn turn for a change. I'm going to eat pizza, and you guys get to watch, you know." Is that hard?
Eileen. That's Eileen. She changed her channel
Oh,
name.
yeah, I see that. I see that. Heart sight?
Yep.
Neat. Neat. Neat.
Same avatar. Same
Yeah,
lovely lady.
right. Yes. Still Eileen. Yep. It's great to see her. This week I wish I could have gotten out and done more just outdoor activities, hiking, fishing, whatever, because we haven't had a drop of rain for the last week. It's been beautiful weather in the mid 70s and sunny every day. But I kept getting distracted, finding other crap to do, and I got back to camp last week, and they hadn't gotten that well working at my other campground. And I thought, oh my God, these people are going to be pissed. I drove through real quick, checked the bathrooms. They were clean, had enough toilet paper in them. Got to my other campground before the campers could get a hold of me. The next morning, I went up there extra early. I mean, right at sunrise, about 6:30 in the morning, I headed up there. And I thought, I'm going to check the bathrooms, do my reservations, get the hell out of there before any of them even wake up. I got up there. There's a handle on the pump. And I'm like, yes, they got it done. And all of a sudden, everybody in that campground, I was their hero. Because they didn't see the Forest Service guys come in and fix the pump. I was the first Forest Service guy they saw. So they thought I was the pump guy, you know. He's the guy that got us our well back. So Friday, all day, I walked around, big fat head. I'm a hero. I'm a hero. I didn't do a damn thing, but I'm a hero. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, had quite a few crazy conversations. We got this guy that sells firewood at our campground now, and he's a private individual. He gets a permit from the Forest Service to be able to be a vendor on a campground. And first 2 weeks out there, he sold quite a bit of wood. People like his firewood. They really do. They stole some of it. You know, they took bundles without paying. So we're going to move that thing right down by my campsite, where if you even stop your vehicle out there or walk up, I'm going to hear you outside my trailer by that wood rack. And the Forest Service truck's going to be only 10 feet away from it. I said, you'll have fewer walk-offs, you know. And he said, and then the next day, here comes the guy, the Forest Service guy, that pulls the money out of our pay post, you know, because you pay for your campsites in an envelope, drop it on the post. And he comes over to my site and he goes, Sty, do you talk to this wood guy often? I said, a couple times a week. He goes, next time you see him, tell him that we're working on a sign and stuff that makes sure that one thing can quit happening. I said, what's that? What is he doing wrong? And he said, he's not doing anything wrong, but he says, you wouldn't believe it. He says, has he complained that he's getting ripped off? People are stealing bundles? I said, yeah, a few, you know, not a lot of them, but a few. And he goes, well, they gave us the money, not him. He says the campsite fee is $15 a night. They'll stick a $20 bill in the envelope and write a note on the envelope on the campsite payment envelope, plus a bundle of wood.
That's not a bad deal.
So the Forest Service doesn't have any mechanism to reimburse him, to give him the
Oh,
money. So the Forest Service is making out, but he's getting screwed. So I told him, I said, oh my God, we got to get some signs up. These people can't be paying for their firewood to the Forest Service. That, that's extra ching for the Forest Service, but he's getting screwed. Hey, metal music. Let that see you. Crazy Ann, sweetie.
what's up, Crazy
Oh,
Ann? What's up, Metal?
good to
Harry?
see ya. The Curtis Mayfield should have created a song, Sty Guy. Jesus. The Yeah, it's been pretty dang interesting out there. I want to thank anybody that's watching. That's a recent subscriber. I mean, for crying out loud, I was hoping to hit 3,900 maybe by the end of the month, and no, I'm at 3,922 as of today. That's pretty dang awesome. Less than 80 to hit 4,000 subs. I mean, thank you, folks.
Well, it makes you wonder if the live streaming was actually holding your channel back from picking up subs, or if it's just the fact that you're collecting subs from campers. But I can't imagine you getting that many from campers.
Well, I knew exactly how many of those stickers I took out to camp.
Mm-hmm.
I had 300 of them. Okay. I'm down to 150 now. So I've handed out 150. And in the last 60 days, I've gained 154 subs. So it's almost too coincidental. It seems like the folks that, and I don't give everybody a sticker. I just give folks that want to talk or whatever, or they want to try to remember who the hell their host was. I'll say, well, here, you won't forget who I am now. Here's a sticker. And so I'm contributing part of those subs to that. But I've been getting some feedback from some of these people too. And they're going back and watching Sty Times, Sty Stories, and around the campfire streams. Because they said, oh, we love your panels, man. You get such a mix of people and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why aren't you watching my videos? I mean, come on. I want the count on those videos. I already got a good count on those live streams. Give me a count on my videos.
Right.
That's because I think for the algorithm, it goes a little further if those counts are on your videos, Hey, David Jones.
David likes my shirt.
Yeah.
Brings me back to when I was a kid. So
that's a long trip.
It is a long trip. I know you saw it. I don't know if everybody there has seen it, but
just a few. That's a new packaging, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they went to a black and yellow box. So Saturday at 5:30. If you're not doing anything,
get on over there.
Get on over, and we're going for the record. We're gonna get the record.
Yeah.
It's just how many over the record are we gonna get? Can we eat them all? You never know.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I can't be there, but I'm going to try to watch it. I'm going to stream it. I'm not touching any of the data on my phone, so that maybe I got enough that I can watch that and watch them go through it. At least watch instead of after the fact. But he's nuts. He's nuts. You got to get over there and watch this cool.
I keep going back and watching me do 34. I remember, I had the extra 10 chips. I was going to do a 35th, and I was like, nope. And I think I just had a mental block. I was at the finish line, hit the finish line. The finish line was 34, and to do any more,
Yeah. Yeah.
was going to be tough. So I think that's where I got to put my mental block. I have to put my
Threshold
this
there.
is where I'm going. This is what we're doing. This is where
Get
I'm
that
going.
get that mindset at
Get that
that
mindset.
threshold. Yeah.
Yep.
And then when you hit that threshold, you'll say, I'm not doing another one.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
like you did with the 34. You're like,
well, the
nope,
34
that's
that was what I mean. The thumbnail was for 34. Everything was for 30.
Yep.
That's why I didn't put a number on this one.
Right. This
One,
one's
I don't want
open-ended,
to
folks.
advertise to other folks who might want to do more. Didn't want to advertise how many I was doing. So
Right. Make them hang out there in suspense, you know? You betcha. Yeah, I can't imagine, man. 60 plus of them damn chips, man.
yeah.
I couldn't handle the volume anymore.
The volume's not bad. The volume, when I look at the volume, it's right around
A bag of chips.
a pound of chips.
Yeah, it's like one of those party size bags of chips. Yeah.
It's around a pound of chips. If you sat there and did chips and salsa, you could probably do a pound of chips and salsa, probably no problem, right?
I used to be able to.
Yeah.
I can't no more. I can
Now
only
to,
do about a third of that, and then I'm full.
So I'm not thinking it's the weight. It's just going to be the amount of, what's going on here. And if the stomach stops me, that's the biggest thing.
That's what I keep thinking is how is the stomach going to react to that much compacted packy chip? You know,
it had 34 in them last time.
but you're going to double that, and it's going to be a block of that in your gut.
Yeah, the stomach wasn't a problem last time. It was, the mouth and everything else going on, all the pores and everything seeping and everything else.
So I think that would be. I have no doubt. I got faith in you, man. If you that's the thing is if you set a limit, if you don't make it, then I know it was really fucking tough, man. Because you ain't gonna give up. You just don't give up, and
that's me. I like to set a goal. I mean, even when I did the 3 tubes of tear and I only did 2, I set the goal at 3, knowing that I would only do 2. Yeah. And that was, I would push myself if I felt I could have done the third, but I knew when I started that challenge, if I didn't set it to 3, I wouldn't do 2.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I've really set a challenge out there for myself that I wasn't able to complete it.
But it got you to that minimum level you really wanted to hit. You got you through 2. And otherwise, if you would have said, well, I got 3 here and I'm just going to try to do these, I don't know how many, you might have gotten 1.5 down and said quit.
Yeah.
But setting it at 3 pushed you to finish the second. That's,
Yeah. Well, I had never started a second tube of tear before. I had talked about it a couple of times.
Right.
But never started the second. I mean, I get news for you, man. You do a freaking tube of tear, that shit's hot.
Oh, I watch you and I won't do it. I won't do any of it. I look at them damn nuts and I go, no, don't put that in your mouth.
As a matter of fact, I just broke open a tube. I don't have anything on my stomach now. I just broke open a tube yesterday and did a dirty nut sack last night.
Oh shit! Back to the dirty nut sacks, man.
I'm building up my tolerance for somewhat for Saturday. Again, I haven't had anything to eat tonight, so I won't be doing anything spicy tonight. But
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that's wow.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Yep. Yeah, David, I can remember time sitting and eating a whole party-sized bag of tortilla chips and salsa, eat the whole damn thing watching a movie, eat it within an hour and a half. I wish I could still eat that way, but I can't. The boy, the taste buds still love it. So I just learned instead of the volume, because I just can't eat the volume anymore, to enjoy every bite, Crazy Ann. Joey! That dog on YouTube. I've been a member over at Phil's for just maybe a couple months less than Crazy Ann had been over there, from the beginning. Always, always. I get a notification early this morning on my phone, and it said that I have to update my payment method because the payment to everything spicy failed. And then I get a notice right behind it that says your membership with Everything Spicy has been paused. I was telling them about what happened. Membership with you. Oh, it pissed me off. All I had to do when I got home is go in there, click on it, on the email, pulls the payment method up, and I looked at my credit card. I go, that's the card I've been using ever since I became a member at the beginning of time. And it said I needed to update and confirm that card. All it made me do is put that 3-digit number off the back of your card in there and hit confirm, and it made the payment. I was pissed off. Like, you piss around with me, Jesus Christ, you've been taking that money every month for the beginning of time, and now you decide we got to make sure it's him.
I think it happens with a lot of people's cards. I don't think people intentionally. Some people do. I mean, I think what happens. I've replaced a couple of cards that run my YouTube account since the whole thing's gone on. I've had some fraud.
Yeah.
So I've replaced a couple of cards. So I always have to go back in, and I make a concerted effort
to try to fix it all.
Where everybody that I was subscribed to, I'm subscribed to. So, but your card didn't expire, so you didn't. That wasn't your issue. So,
right, and that's why I was kind of shocked when I saw that notification. It's like, what the heck? That card's good out to 2026. I might not even be around when that card.
You hadn't been using a lot because you're camping, so it was like weird that you had inactivity.
No, I use that card probably every other day out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I use it
all.
You
insert it into the elm next to you to get a few nuts, or what?
No.
I'm sorry.
That's how I put gas in my truck. That's how I get beef sausages from the local store and snacks and the like, And
those elm trees have got great nuts, though, man.
That's
Scan and pay with your card.
We're not gonna be talking about nuts. People's nuts.
No nuts.
Yeah, no nuts.
No nuts.
That was pretty funny. This guy from the Forest Service comes to my campsite and he goes, I gotta know, did you get your Starlink equipment? I said, it's coming. And he goes, oh, that's going to be so cool when you get that set up. I said, it ain't going to be so cool when I cut them 3 great big fucking hemlock trees down in that maple. He goes, what? And I said, they're in my way. I said, if those 4 trees don't go, I don't get no signal. He goes, oh, we can't let you do that. I said, well, if I cut them when you're not around, you can't stop me. I said, but you can kick me the hell out of the campground, and then my Starlink wouldn't be any good anyway because I got to take it with me. I said, come on, let me cut those trees down. They're off in the forest there, They're out just on the edge of the campground. He says, them big, tall suckers, you cut that one down, the top of it's going to land all the way over into Site 10, which is our walk-in site. You got to walk a football field into the damn thing. He says, the top of it will land right in that campsite. I said, well, I'll go buck the top off of it. He says, you ain't cutting those down. Them damn things are shit. They're that big around. Those trees at the base, monsters, big,
That's why you don't ask for
130,
permission.
140 footers. Huh?
That's why you don't ask for permission. You don't tell them what you're doing. That way they have plausible deniability.
See, I was gonna, yeah, I was gonna tell them, yeah, is these little short tooth beavers cut them suckers down, chewed them down. They got these little short teeth that leave these tiny little chips all over, you know.
Yeah, perfectly
Yeah.
straight lines too. They're engineering beavers.
Engineer that there's top of the line smart beavers,
Yeah.
boy.
Got to stay away from those smart beavers. I'm just telling you.
Stay away from the smart beavers, eh? So you should tell them it's for camp business purposes to catch up to times, and then you have firewood for campers. Yeah, right. Yeah, no. Well, first of all, people, I still got a pretty good sized pile of hemlock that I tell you, you want free firewood, there you go, take that hemlock. You got to split it, but there it is. Once in a while, I'll get 2-3 pieces off that pile, but nobody wants it because all it does is pop and snap and spit sparks all over your campsite.
Like pine, then?
Yeah. Hemlock's a pine. Yeah, and it's real pitchy. Got a lot of pitch in it.
Oh. Well, the car business ain't getting any better while you're gone.
Me dibble? No, we got notified that I don't know how they did it, but through the government services contract, they managed to get all three, Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, to lock in the new vehicles we were scheduled to get for 2022. So they must have some chips somewhere to be able to produce those.
Some chips.
So they must be setting them aside for these stupid government contracts. To me, it sounds just like the ammo thing where the government, Homeland Security, was getting millions and millions of rounds, but we couldn't find a single box on our shelves, you know?
Yeah, so, we got about 20 cars left on our lot.
Wow.
Matter of fact, we had one of our top sales guys today quit. He just, you know what?
They're just not there.
There's gonna be enough cars here to support what I'm selling and to support what I'm used to making. And he says, I'm just going to find something else to do.
Well, that's, if you got a fruit stand and you're down to 2 apples, well, you might as well grab them apples, eat them on the way out the door. Because why sit to come in every day if you ain't got no apples to sell?
Yeah, I mean, we get vehicles that trickle in, but we sell more than we get that trickle in. So I don't know. It may get to a point where, hey, all for new employment. I don't know.
All of our dealerships up here, every single one of them, constant on the radio. Those are the ads of the day. That's what you hear all the time. Is every one of these dealers begging for your used car.
Yep.
We'll buy it from you today.
Yep.
They're not saying, come in and check out our new cars. They're saying, you want to sell your car, bring it to us, and we'll give you the best dollar for it. And they're competing to buy all the used vehicles out here they can get their hands on. And our Honda dealer out there, their parking lot looks like it's the employee parking lot. I mean, it's that empty, it's just our GM dealer here. They were lucky, man. There were a lot of people that came to them and sold them their used cars. So their used car lot was pretty damn full. They're moving them over, but they're getting enough coming in to keep it full looking. So what they did was the few new cars and trucks they had, they transitioned them onto this corner part of the lot and put the best used vehicles along the highway. So it makes the dealership look full. But boy, you go around the side of the building where it used to be, you'd see 150 vehicles parked in that big ass lot. There might be 35, 40 in there. They're all wiped out.
Yeah, we used to have a lot of used ones too. When this whole started happening, a couple, 2-3 months ago, we were buying everything lease turn-ins. We were buying every single one of them. Didn't matter what it is. we were buying it, and the used cars were, creeping into the new car inventory, which is fine,
Yeah. Right.
And but then our used car manager kind of got scared because, again, you're buying some of these vehicles where they look really good in the market. Actually, you take them to auction and make, $500, $800 at auction. You sit them on the lot in our market, and there were so many, especially like Equinoxes, there's so many of them that he was worried that he wouldn't get rid of them. So he auctioned off a lot through online auctions and whatnot, made money that way. But now he's down to the point where, we're, they're either at or below their normal inventory levels before this. And I think they should have more than, especially since we're at new cars. But I think there's that whole fear, since they're giving so much for these used cars, that tomorrow there's chips, even though everything is saying there won't be. Tomorrow there's chips, and he takes a bath on everything he's got in his lot, because everything on our lot right now, I would guess, is anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 more that we paid for it than we would normally this time of year.
Yeah.
And thus reflects in the pricing that we have to sell stuff for. So
right.
I'm not gonna bore everybody with car stuff, but
Oh no, it is part of the hot topic, what's going on in the world.
Well, I had a customer sit and read to me yesterday or day before yesterday from his phone, saying that the computer chip issue will go into 2023.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So it's going to affect all the markets until 2023. I was already told months ago that if you want to get any electronics for someone for Christmas back in May and June, you better go online and buy it now. Just to make sure that you've got it. Because, the computer electronics were having the same problems.
Running Water actually ordered a new laptop, pretty high-end gaming laptop. It was it was going to cost them close to $3,000. And it wasn't totally loaded the way he wanted it, but it was going to cost him $3,000. And he was so excited, I'm going to get my new laptop. And then all of a sudden I'm talking to him and he sounds pretty grumpy. I go, what's the problem? From the bitches, they didn't tell me it was going to be a delay. They just told me flat out, you ain't getting your new laptop. We'll have to give you your money back because we just don't have the chips to produce it.
Well, there you go.
And that's bad because that's high end shit, that you would think they'd go way out of their way to try to scrounge what they needed to get a high value product sold, but it's just the inventory isn't there. There's just nothing there.
Yeah.
So you're right, boy. You want to buy electronics, now's the time to do it. One thing that I haven't seen affected, and I've been watching it because I'm getting a new phone here probably next week, and then I'm getting a hotspot. Going to try a hotspot. Going to go ahead and try a hotspot. But the phones, no, you can still buy used phones for the same as they were selling a year ago.
But have you seen iPhone come out with anything in the last?
Well, they're not coming, but they're not coming out with anything new.
They always come out with something new about every 6 to 8 months.
Right, but they're not doing that right now. But what I'm saying is there's a huge phone market out there for pre-owned phones, and those prices aren't being driven up. They're still the same they were over a year ago. Because I was going to buy a new phone about 18 months ago, and I'm looking at phones that are 6 months newer than the ones I was looking at back then, that are at the price of the older model I was looking at. So that's not such a big deal. But they may not be using the same type of technology as some of this other hardware is. That's the whole thing, is their technology might be totally in a different plane than that of the computers and the operating systems on vehicles and shit, So, yeah. Boy, this business in Afghanistan.
Oh my God!
I'm out at camp. I don't get news where the shit until I'm coming home on Wednesday, and I'm hearing it on the news on the radio on the way home, and I'm going, what in the hell? Sty goes away for a week and the whole world falls apart. What the hell? Do I have to stay at home every day to make sure shit runs right?
Biden completely botched that shit.
No kidding. Oh my God.
When CNN, NBC, ABC, and CBS says he fucked up,
when they turn on him, I'm going, oh, that is so enlightening.
Yeah. And I hope they continue with this trend of reporting the real news, because things like the border and things like that are real news as well. I mean,
right.
Ignoring that is, but I already see him today. You know, he's back at the White House. He was at Camp David. He went back to Camp David after making his little
finish his vacation.
And his big thing today was talking about COVID and the Delta variants. It wasn't talking about Afghanistan.
No, didn't touch it.
Completely trying to distract the public from what's going on over there right now.
Right.
I talked about now again. I will tell you.
I'll tell you
COVID
what
is an issue right now. Look at states like Alabama and whatnot. They're getting nuts.
But the whole thing is yes, COVID is a big issue still. So is the border still.
Mm-hmm.
So is defunding the police still. And now we got another one, Afghanistan. And 4 months from now, we're going to say still. Because every damn problem that's arisen is because of him and his frickin' policy changes or ignoring policy, blah, blah. All of it. Well, I liked how they were saying, hey, Kamala, with the way the women are being slaughtered over there in Afghanistan, and Kamala hasn't said a word. But before this happened, she's talking about how proud she is of women and their freedoms and rights and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden she shuts her damn mouth. She did it because her and Biden sat shoulder to shoulder, and the last two that came out of the meeting that said, we're going to set a fixed date and we're pulling our troops out of Afghanistan. She's got blood in the game, and she doesn't want to show it off. She doesn't want anybody to see that she's got so much blood in that game that's causing that blood on the streets over there. So she's going to stay clear of it, just like she did with the border. Over 100 days for her to finally go down there. And where does she go? To a sweet spot,
right,
where she doesn't have to deal with the really serious stuff, And it's because if you take what she has said, it puts her right in the middle of it. You're part of the cause. You're part of the damn problem. So she figures silence is golden. If I don't address it, then they can't go there. See, all they can do is speculate what I'm thinking or blah, blah. It's crazy. Yeah. Hey, Rain Dancer. Hi. Have hundreds of tens.
No, I mean, it's nuts. I mean, it is completely and totally absurd. I mean, just, they have absolutely screwed up everything.
It is. And
absolutely. I mean, he's been the worst on foreign policy since he got into government.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I heard
it's all over the place, and he's just everything up.
I heard Kayleigh McEnany say something today that I said, that's dead on, man. That gal, she's sharp. She's sharp. She's a sharp cookie, boy. She hit that nail right on the head. She said, we're all extremely concerned over all of these snafus in this administration and everything they screwed up, and have no idea of how they're going to get themselves out of it. She said, but where we should really be upset is not what they've done, but what are we going to have to do for decades to clean it up? She's right. It's going to take forever for us to catch up and fix a lot of that crap. Oh, Mike.
He's not
Mike, I'm not here. Wow. Man, with that, you cannot be here all you want, man.
Well, that's just rude. He take his money over his presents. I don't know.
Well, Money and presents are kind of like the same, aren't they? Oh, no, not that kind of
Not
present. I'm
presents.
sorry.
Presents.
Presents. Oh, his presents, not
Hey, where you
present.
at, asshole? Get up here.
Is there a big bow on that? Hey, Peppers in Kentucky living. That's so cool. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, here's one. Here's one for you. You want to, it don't take much to piss Sty off, especially nowadays. Yeah, but I come.
You're an old curmudgeon. There you go.
Yeah, I'm an old curmudgeon. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, you've been around Cheesehead too long.
Yeah.
But, but I'm on my way home from camp this morning, bright and early, and I'm heading up here and I'm enjoying a cup of coffee. And I get to this little town that I got to go through, the town of Mellon. And they've got a Cenex gas station convenience store. And they got their price up there, the LED sign with the price. $3.14 a gallon. I'm going, cool. I'm good with that. Yeah, that's good. That's a couple cents down from last week when I came to town. Okay. I get to the next little town. $3.16 a gallon. That's about maybe 15 miles away from Mellon. Now I'm only 15 miles away from Ashland, 15, 20 miles away. I pull into Ashland, the very first thing on that end of town when you pull in. Well, actually, there's only 3 main routes into our town. And at the city limits, at all 3 of those points, is a Quick Trip. Well, I'm pulling in, and there's the first gas station I see in town. Quick Trip. $3.29. 20 miles away from the $3.16.
Mm-hmm.
And only 30 plus miles away from the $3.14. I am pissed. I'm going, bullshit. That is bullshit. That's bullshit. Well, I come home here and I had some stuff to do. Then I had to go out and do some running. And I thought, what the hell? I'm going to run to the other end of town and see what that Quick Trip's price is. $3.29. Well, between that Quick Trip and the third one, I wanted to check that one out too, see if there's $3.29. Going through town, I passed 2 Holiday gas stations and a Cursed gas station. Holiday was $3.18, not $3.29, $3.18. Cursed was $3.12. $3.12. And I thought maybe Cursed just hasn't changed their price yet on their sign, I zipped in there. No, I topped my truck off at $3.12. It was $3.12 a gallon.
Nice.
And I asked the gal, because their manager was working today, and I asked her, I said, why are you $3.12 and Holiday's $3.18, but Quick Trip's $3.29? And she goes, I don't really get it. But she says, we're notified every morning as to what our gas price is. Every morning. And we adjust it according to what corporate tells us is the competitive gas price. And $3.12 is what we got. And she said, we've been running all week anywhere from 6 to 20 cents less than Quick Trip. But then the light came on. They're the very first gas station coming into that town from any direction. From any direction. How many people, they see that and they go, oh, the gas is $3.29 in Ashland, pull in and fill up. Then they get into Ashland and go, $3.12? Yeah, it's too late. I filled up when I came into town. So, and I couldn't believe it. There was a lot of people fueling up there at Quick Trip for that price. And I drove through the one when I went to get my meds at the pharmacy. I drove through that Quick Trip, pulled right up to the pump, and I'm looking at the price on the pump. I thought maybe their signs are screwed up. Nope, it's $3.29 on the pump. And for the first time I've seen in a long time, regular gasoline at Quick Trip is more expensive than the diesel. Yeah. You're muted, by the way, Phil. Hey, Mr. Fulton. Hello.
didn't want to be rude and have a bag crinkling noise all over what you're talking about. So
Wouldn't be the first.
I might munch. I might munch over what you're talking about.
Sure, I'll just crunch away, but I won't wrinkle a bag.
No.
Never.
That's so loud and rude. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when I saw that huge discrepancy in the price of gas, I was just really pissed off because, okay, I filled off my truck and I figured it out because my truck was just hovering over E when I rolled into town today. I actually saved $4.20 by skipping the quick trip and looking around for prices. That was worth it.
Yeah, Harry says $3.49. I haven't seen it that high. I've seen it as high as $3.39. So it's usually in Michigan right now. Most places are somewhere between $3.29 and $3.39. When they all go down, they all kind of go down about 10 cents. So the $3.39 place goes down to $3.29. The $3.29 place goes down to $3.19. But they're all different kind of gas stations, and
yeah,
I truly think some of these places adjust their prices based on what they can get for it. I mean, they're not going to gouge.
See, now that's it. Is they're very cautious about gouging, and because I mean they've shut down. Corporations have paid out many hundreds of millions of dollars for gouging claims by the federal government against them. So they try to stay away from. That's why most towns you go into, there's never more than a 10% discrepancy between gas prices. They have to remain on a marketing level competitive, what's considered to be fairly competitive. And here in Ashland, I've been living here for over 30 years now. Typically here in Ashland, you never see any more than 1 or 2 cent differentiation between all the gas stations until this crap has come along in the since January. I mean, it's almost like everybody out there is thinking, well, instead of saying pardon me, they say Biden me. You know, we'll just do whatever we can and get away with shit. Trump was the kind of guy where he'd say, whoa, that's enough of that bullshit. You got to base your gas prices on the cost of product with a fair profit margin, you know?
Yeah, I did see something. Someone had commented about the gas prices and how much they have gone up since Obama. And they were pretty low the last year of 2019 or 2020. But they did mention that prior to that, they were pretty expensive. And I looked back for Michigan gasoline taxes for 2019, and it was $2.89 a gallon. So we quickly forget of how high it was. It wasn't $3.39 or $3.29, but it wasn't so low as it had gotten about a year, 9 months before the election. It always happens during the election. Happens during election. The last year that a politician or president is in office, gas prices go down because people vote with their wallets. Obviously, this time they didn't vote with they did vote with their wallets. They didn't much discrepancy in
they didn't vote with any brain cells.
Right.
I mean, we had a brain cell shortage for this last election.
I still have a hard time believing there were 30,000 more votes in 2020 than in 2016. And in 2020, when we had an election, there was a pandemic where people weren't leaving their house. So I have a hard time believing 30 million more voters. People voted in 2020 than in 2016.
Right. And that's it is I don't go there because right away you're going to get tagged as one of these conspiracy people and blah, blah. But, and when someone goes down that road, I just tell them, I look at what's there to look at, and I can see it doesn't add up. No. Circumstances were not such that would and should have happened. There's no way. I'm sorry. Common sense tells me something went very amiss in that election.
We should have had less votes in
Yep.
2020 than we had in 2016 because people were scared. People were scared to go out.
Yeah.
You know, people stayed at home. But again, we're getting into politics. But
Yeah.
ballots were mailed out. People got ballots to their mailboxes for people who weren't at their house anymore.
Well,
not ballots that they asked for.
it was proven Omar had hired thugs going around Minnesota, strong arming people into doing absentee ballots. And they were carrying them around loose on the dashes of their vans and in boxes and delivering them up to a polling place. What kind of bullshit is that? They proved that up. And they were working through her campaign management group. Why the hell is she still in office? You know, that's the kind of crap that's just really been eating me ever since the election. Is I see a lot of people in office that back in the 60s and early 70s, oh no, they would have been burnt at the stake. I mean,
Nixon.
You would never be in a seat in office after getting caught doing that crap. But these people are getting caught every freaking day now, and nothing happens. Congress refuses to act. Senate doesn't act. Come on.
Well,
yeah, corruptions. Yeah.
Well, look at
Dr.
that.
Smith.
Okay? I found out months ago about how many times, because you don't hear it on the right side, how many ladies had come forward that President Trump had somehow done something inappropriate. And what all the left was seeing, about 14 women in total. So there's 14 women in total that were, saying that, Trump had, if they had any proof, any real proof, there would have been a real problem, and there would have been all sorts of things going on. Now, Cuomo, who is so protected by the left and so protected by the media, he was he was Cuomo-sexual. Everybody was a Cuomo-sexual, right? Everybody loved Governor. He got an Emmy. He got a book deal. He got all. I mean, he was the man. He got 11 women, and there is so much evidence against him. They can't even cover for him anymore.
Right.
So tell me that if Trump had actually done any of what was said, the way they investigate Trump, he wouldn't be in jail, or he wouldn't be ousted, be gone, and be embarrassed.
Yep.
But Cuomo, they're getting Cuomo.
Yep. Hey, Mayberry.
What's up,
good to see you,
Dr. Smith?
It's ridiculous. It's just downright ridiculous.
Yeah. It's just why is everything so? I mean, I guess it's because we're so informed now, right?
Well, we know more than we ever did before.
I mean, now, the internet and all that stuff, we're just more informed.
I'll never forget. I heard this 80-some-year-old fella a couple summers ago out here. We were talking, and one of the gals from the building here is saying, "Oh, did you hear about such and such a shooting at such?" And he goes, "Here in town?" And she goes, "Oh, you pay attention. I saw it on the internet. It happened out in California or something." And he goes, "And why in the hell do you give a shit? It ain't got nothing to do with you. You know what? What happened out there and what's going on out there, they better deal with it. They better goddamn deal with it. But in the meantime, you need to be reminded that's none of your damn business." He says that's what's wrong with the world today, is we get to know not the next state's business, but the whole country's business, plus the whole world's business, no matter how big or small it is. The important things we need to know about our states or our country are put aside for all this little bullshit that's page 6 news in the newspaper, but it's on the internet. And just because 500,000, 1 million, 2 million people saw it, oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal now. No, it's not, because just 25 years ago, you wouldn't have ever heard of it. and life would have gone on, and you would have been a lot happier because you're not hearing about nothing but freaking misery in the world. That's all we get anymore. We don't get both good and bad news. You get just the bad news. That's all that's ever on anywhere.
Misery gets the clicks. Used to be you
Yep.
get clicks on, a soldier surprising his kids coming home from the
Oh yeah.
war or coming home from service.
Oh,
Those
he
are
fell off.
awesome. Tears run down your face and whatnot.
Yep.
Those don't get the clicks anymore.
No. And so you don't get to see so much of it anymore. And it's, to me, that's why I don't surf a lot anymore on the net, because I'm not finding interest stories,
Right.
human stories. Hey, this guy in the basement. Now,
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna warn him before he gets up here. He's allowed to rant. He's allowed to rant. But he needs to know, and he does, he knows very well, that him and I are kicking a dead horse, hoping that some bitch will come to and stand up and go back to being normal. But this guy, this guy, him and I, he called me just for a quick little chat. And 5 hours later, what the hell was it? 1 o'clock in the damn morning out at camp. Finally, we said goodbye, and both of us had to get up 5, 6 o'clock next morning. But
Cheese dick.
No.
Oh,
it's Travis.
What's up, Travis?
Hey, Phil. Hey, Sty.
Hey, buddy.
I don't know if I'm gonna rant. I mean,
okay. I got to tell you before we even go down any of those roads, it looks like, we'll see, but it looks like I'll probably go to T-Mobile.
Oh yeah.
Now that phone, if I went to T-Mobile, if I get their SIM card, can I plug that in the phone?
Yes, it does work. The main reason I got a new phone instead of keeping it is I was hoping a new phone would work better, and it didn't make a difference.
So it was like a wash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's one of those. I needed a new phone just because it was 2.5 years old, and I like to upgrade every once in a while. But
because I called,
nothing actually wrong with it.
I called one of our cellular connections stores here in town this afternoon, talked to him, and I said, now if I get this new phone and I put my Straight Talk plan on it, can I come back to you and say, I don't want that Straight Talk shit, but can I get T-Mobile? Can you take care of that? And she said, oh, absolutely.
Good.
She said, yeah, basically what we end up doing is pitching that SIMs for Straight Talk, and we put a new SIMs in under your T-Mobile contract.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Yeah, no, I've been,
and I'm going to get a T-Mobile hotspot, actual hotspot too.
Good.
Because basically with the hotspot plan, what you're doing is you're getting a monthly cellular service plan that has hotspot attached to it.
Right.
I didn't realize that, because some of these carriers, for the longest time, your cellular package and your hotspot package were separate.
Mm-hmm.
You were buying both. This, through T-Mobile, you're just buying the one package. You get talk, text, unlimited, then you get your hotspot portion of it, and you get, and it's like, oh, and guess what? I get a damn sweet deal from them too, because I'm old.
I get a sweet deal as an educator, and you get a sweet deal because
I'm old. Yep.
Okay.
And that's what she told me. She said, oh, because I said a buddy of mine, he gets it because he's an educator, he's a teacher, and gets a sweet deal. And she goes, oh, so he gets to pretend he's old, because when he gets old, it's the same package.
Yeah, it is. It's the same package.
Yeah. And
it's the same discount whether you're
an
educator or
but
old.
There's only, it's educator, old, and veteran. Those three.
Yep.
Under that, what is it? Something Meg.
I forget what they called it.
Max something.
Yeah, I've got Magenta Max.
Magenta Max. Yeah, that's their big one, big package. Yeah.
Yeah, the phone itself will never get throttled, but after using 40 gig of hotspot data, they can slow you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well.
And what I love is they guarantee you that you're going to run at 5 if 5's available. If
Yep.
5's not available, the minimum you're going to run is 4.
Well,
Oh,
and
well,
that Pixel 3 will not do 5.
yeah. So if it maxes out at 4, that's good. That's fine.
Oh, the speed I got from your site running with the Pixel 3 was great.
Yeah.
You'll be perfectly happy with it.
Well, and that's not going to be my concern, because my hotspot, I'm not going to use the phone as the hotspot. I'm going to buy a hotspot.
Okay.
That hotspot runs at 5.
Yeah.
In fact, the hotspot I'm buying from T-Mobile is hardwired. I can go cordless, wireless, or hardwired. So
It's probably this one.
no, it don't
No?
look like that. Nope. It's
This
bulkier.
is-
It's bulkier.
That's the one I've got.
Yep.
The 80s called. They want their brick back. I think it's huge because this is my old Verizon one right here.
Yeah. I've seen them. Yeah.
So I talked to Chris today.
You did.
Yeah.
So folks know Chris is our supervisor.
First thing I asked him is, well, what did Chad think of all of that?
Oh, did he talk to Chad?
He did talk to Chad, which would be Chris's boss for those of you
Right.
watching from home. So now we're talking 2 tiers above us. Chad had no problem with what I did. None whatsoever.
Good. I didn't think he would.
I didn't think he would either, but he also agrees that RJ's interpretation of where the campground is completely wrong. He said RJ's right with the 150 yards, which you and I weren't disputing.
Right.
But he said RJ's interpretation of what is and is not part of that property is wrong.
So RJ's what is and is not part of that property, what was his definition?
He said that it is not campground until you hit the overflow parking driveway.
Oh.
And then he even said, really, my site is not campground.
Oh. He's goofy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as far as he was concerned, there was no issues if the bear hunters wanted to come up and drop their dogs halfway between the gate and the overflow.
Right.
And Chris said, no. That trail that goes around the lake is part of the campground. And along that whole stretch, it's 50 yards to the trail.
I was gonna say that trail is a campground trail. That's not a designated trail like the North Country Trail or something like that. It's a campground trail around a fully 100% National Forest controlled lake.
Yep.
There's no private land on that lake. It's all National Forest. So, guess what? Your campground has a lake in the middle of it.
Yep.
And they don't even have business letting their dogs run, putting their dogs out along the road where
along 172, I know.
Along that trail there, because I can see the road from the trail.
Yep.
They got no business dropping dogs anywhere near there, because if they get onto that trail, that means they intentionally dropped them to run the trail.
Yep.
So yeah. So folks, so that you can catch up and understand what the heck we're talking about, Travis has had some bear dog issues with the bear hunters. Their dogs being released close to his campground and the dogs coming into the campground. I've stayed out there for a long time, and you can hear them dogs every morning running bear all around that lake. But when I've stayed there, they haven't come into the campground. This year, it's a whole different story. And it went so far as them running a damn bear right through the campsites. And our law enforcement officer is treating it like, well, they got a right,
Which,
and
technically, if you're following black and white, he's right. But Chad says that based on what Chris and Dave told him they were in there way too long. They were not in there to get their dogs and get back out.
Right. They were hunting.
They were in there for 2 hours running that bear through the campground.
They were hunting.
They were hunting.
That's right. And you're not supposed to hunt in the campground.
Nope.
So, to say, well, they're 100% in their rights, but no, really they aren't, because they're hunting. They're hunting within the camp. Once the hunter is present, those dogs need to be brought into control immediately.
Yep.
And the hunt stops.
Yep.
But if the dogs are still loose and able to run the bear, they're still hunting. And they're violating that rule of hunting within a campground.
Right. And that's a federal law.
Right. Boom, 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 boom. Well, the thing is, and you might not agree with me. You can go ahead and not agree. You and I are good at agreeing to not agree. But federal law does not supersede Wisconsin DNR. The
only time it would is
it doesn't ever, unless they commit a federal felony. Then, if they committed murder on the campsite, the federal government has the right to take control over it. But for even high misdemeanors, no, the state has control over that, not the federal government. That's why the federal government comes right out and says, we can't stop somebody from conceal and carrying on federal
because the
lands because of the state law, and because the state supersedes the federal position on it. But all of that aside, everything these bear hunters have been doing to Travis's campground is one of the most disrespectful, stupid things I didn't think we'd ever have to get to that point where, oh my God, the dogs are in the campground.
And they're chasing a bear.
Right through campsites. I mean,
it was just, it made for a very long 2 days because it happened 2 days in a row, remember?
Yep.
Early Friday morning, they treat a bear 150-ish yards out of the camp, off of site 7.
Uh-huh.
And they were in the campground for over an hour. They didn't just come in, pull the dogs off, and leave. No. They went in there and they egged the dogs on. Good boy, yeah.
Got
the dog all riled up. It wasn't until pull the dog out and leave. It was we're in there for over an hour, and so the dogs in the trucks are going. Barr, barr, barr,
yeah.
And then Saturday is when they chase the bear through.
Absolutely insane. Travis keeps me posted on what he's got to deal with at his campground. And this season, I've been so fortunate with, I've had some people issues, but not that kind of stuff. I mean, he's had some really tough things to have to deal with. And so far,
Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day.
The guy that thought he could just walk me off his site.
Mm-hmm. Where he thought he actually had ownership of that site.
I'm in charge.
Yep, I'm in charge of this site because I paid for it.
Yeah.
No. You rented it. You rented it. Guess who you're talking to? The landlord. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be like the landlord telling you, "Hey, you got to cut your grass."
If it's in your lease, he's within his rights. Walk in there with a ruler every week and say, "Cut your grass, or else get out. You're in violation of our agreement."
And in this case, that guy was effectively not mowing the grass, which was in the lease, because he wasn't following a rule that was posted that he agreed to when he rented the site.
Right. And I love it when somebody says, "I never agreed to that." You did the minute you drove through that gate. You also did it before that when you paid for the site. So you admitted twice that you're going to follow those rules. Because when you drive through the gate, the rules are right there on that big board. You can't miss them. So to tell me you didn't agree with it, then why the hell would you pay for it?
And why would you stay?
Right. Yeah. If you're going to go rent a house and the landlord says, Okay, here's the rules to the house. Oh, and by the way, I get to stay in the guest room.
And you
I
agree?
don't know you people, but it's my house and I'm going to rent it to you. And I get to stay in the restroom or restroom.
You stay in the restroom.
In the guest room. And so does your wife. Are you going to pay him the first month's rent?
Nope.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to move in with this guy. You know, and that's just like campground. They come in and they say, oh, I didn't see that rule. But you seem to be quoting every other rule on the board, but that one, you just didn't see that one. I don't get this anymore when people say, well, you know, they kind of got into the habit of doing things and, you know, and then you come along and oh, there's rules. No, them fucking rules have existed since the 1960s. Don't give me this. I all of a sudden showed up with rules. They've always been there. You just haven't fucking followed them.
Right.
And I don't feel sorry for people that say, but I got away with it all this time. You criminal, you son of a bitch. You're so proud of yourself for getting away with shit. You know, you sound like I was when I was 14, 15 years old. I got away with it again. Quit acting like kids and grow up and take responsibility. Have some blood in the game. And say, hey, my bad. I should have read that rule. And you're right. If the rule is there, you're right. I'll remedy it. I'll fix it. You know, and I've been fortunate. I've only had 2 people that wanted to challenge a rule. And I told them, I'm not the guy to challenge. I don't make the rule. So why challenge it with me? You know, you need to go when you get home, get on the phone and call somebody that not only cares, because I don't, but call somebody that can do something because you're talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah, here's a quarter. Call someone who cares.
Right. Oh, yeah. Here's a quarter.
So
Try to find the payphone.
The other thing I talked to him about was what you and I were saying about.
Hey, Ann.
Yes, yeah. Well, we both do.
Yeah.
But I also talked to him about Dave and Brandon rotating because he was like, well, what do you mean about that? What specifically are you guys hoping to accomplish? And I said, other than relationships with both of them?
Right.
I give the example where Dave is the fixer, Brandon's the gopher.
Yeah. We got 2 guys with the Forest Service that work under our supervisor. And both of them are so unique in their different personalities and the skills they have but Travis gets the guy he's the wrench man. He'll fix anything. This guy can fix anything.
Or build it.
If you need something built, he'll build it. And he loves to do that shit. The other guy, he wants to keep you stocked up on everything. You know, once he knows the kind of stuff you go through, you need
your routine.
He shows up with it. You'd never have to ask him for nothing. He shows up. The other day, I got pissed because I got back to my trailer, and I got 2 full 5-gallon gas cans. Well, I run into him later, and he says, oh yeah, by the way, I stopped at your site, and I noticed one of those gas cans was just a little over half full. I swapped it out with a full one. I said, leave my gas cans alone unless I'm there. I didn't need another full 5-gallon. I'm trying to burn some of that gas up. But oh no, he brings it with him, and he always brings extra. He's got like 6 to 10 5-gallon gas cans in the back of his damn truck. I even told him, I told this guy, you need warning placards on your truck. Flammable.
He's hauling around, yeah.
Because if you're hauling that much fuel, 60 gallons of gasoline loose in the back of that pickup truck, you need flammable liquids placards on that truck. I said, and I think you need to go through a hazardous materials driving training. You know, they want to put us through all these trainings. They put him through that.
But he's like, well, how is that a
John problem? And Jan, hello.
So he asked me, how is that a problem that Dave's the fixer and Brandon's the gopher? I said, well, for example,
because you always get Dave. I never get Dave.
Yeah, I always get Dave. And I said, well, I'll give you 2 examples. Dave brought me my whiteboard, and I had no way to mount it. I asked him for a couple strips of 1x4. It took 2 weeks to get it.
Yeah, to get a couple of strips of wood. and Dave, the fixer. Oh, yeah. But I'll tell you what, Brandon probably would have said, you know what? I know where there is some. I'll drive that 40 miles and get it for you and come right back. That's the way. That's the difference between those guys. So Travis came up with the brilliant idea. Let's split these guys up. The one guy runs my campgrounds 1 week. The other guy runs his, does the rounds. And then the following week they swap. So we each get to share these two guys.
That way, if you need something fixed,
Dave, I know next week Dave's going to be there. Yeah.
And if I'm going to need something, I just text them a list of things I need, and they'll magically show up.
Right. Exactly. Hey, Ingalls family, it's great to see you.
But Chris came up with a different solution that I actually kind of like, because the other example I gave him is, unless they swapped my gas cans while I've been in town, I've only got about a half a can.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I said, I guarantee you, if I text Dave tomorrow evening that I need gas, I won't get it until Saturday.
Yeah.
At the soonest.
Where Brandon would have
already filled it, because Brandon would know my routine and go, Travis is going to be about ready for gas.
And if for some reason he missed you and you text him and said, I'm right down to nothing on gas, you'd see him that same day.
Yep.
He'd be right there that same day, make damn sure you're full up on gas.
So here was Chris's solution to that, though. He said, what do you think about putting you and Sty on the business account at the junction? And then you each just have 2 cans, and when they're empty, you go fill them.
Duh.
I'm like, yes.
Duh. I go down there, and you don't know how many times, Travis, I've had an empty gas can in the box of my truck, and I go down there and I fill my truck up, pay it with the card at the pump, and I look at that gas can and going, I could just fill that gas can. I go inside and they give you, because that's how you got to sign on that account.
Yep.
Go in, sign for that gas, and now my gas can's full too.
Yep.
But oh no, I got to look at that empty, saying I'm right here at the damn pump, but I'm not allowed to put gas in that gas can. But I can put $80 worth of gas in that damn truck.
Yeah. So that was his solution. He said, "Well, what if we just get you guys added to that account?" And I said, "Well, that would work, because it's 22 miles one way for me to go get gas."
Another reason that would work is I'm out of windshield washer fluid, so I put in maybe about quarter of a gallon of water in it.
Yeah.
I didn't have any of my own. But I can't buy any at the store.
Right.
I can't just grab a gallon of windshield washer and put it on the Forest Service account, because I don't have the business account. Well, duh. I need a quart of oil in my truck. Oh, Brandon will get that to you. Well, Brandon's in Hayward, so it's going to be an 80-mile round trip for him to come and give me a quart of oil for my truck.
A $5 quart of oil.
Yeah, and he's going to burn up $15 worth of fuel. What kind of bullshit? So yeah, put us on the business account. Easy.
Yep.
Schmeezy.
I was like, yes, that sounds like an excellent solution. And I now have dogs in here.
Oh, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Hey, Scott, good to see you.
I don't think I shut the door tight. Come on, Liberty. You got to say hi to everybody. Come on. Oh, Teal wants to say hi.
Hey, Teal.
What do you want, Teal, huh?
Teal's
Ruby Rack.
Oh, Ruby.
Teal is one big chest.
Yeah, I think he wants a Scooby snack.
She loves water, and she's a beast. She's a beast. Friendly as hell, too. Just so mellow. Hey, guys, a friend of mine, we met over 25 years ago. We were going to the same tattoo parlor, and we were having ink done at the same time. And that's how we met. And we started going to tattoo conventions all over the place together. And I can't remember what all was going on, but we just kind of parted ways, and life went on, and haven't seen each other for years and years. And then I don't remember, it was couple years ago, I think. We just ran into each other in town one time, and we talked for about maybe 10 minutes, and then parted our ways again. The other day, I'm pulling into my campground, and right at my campsite's this truck with this big military trailer that they pull behind Humvees with a camper built in the back of it, parked in my sight. So I can't even pull in. I get out and walk up, and here he comes walking out of the truck. It's this Dan Otto, that I haven't seen in forever. We haven't had time to sit and chat. We got oh, you did, huh? Hey, that's good. That's good. Come back. But he, him and I, we got to chatting about what we've been up to and stuff. And now he's just, yeah, he's retired. He's a retired vet, and he's just traveling around camping. That's all he does. He boondocks. He doesn't stay in pay campgrounds. He boondocks everywhere. Well, you look at that military trailer he's pulling. He can pull that something bitch over Mount McKinley and back, and it wouldn't put a dent in it. But we got talking, and he said, "I found you on YouTube. That's why I showed up at your campsite." He says, "I found you on YouTube. Then I saw that you were saying that you're at East Twin Lake Campground. So I thought, what the heck?" So I came out here, and out on the board, there's a sign that says that you're at Site 6. So I came to Site 6, and here we are. Cool. And we got to chatting a lot, and we got talking about Shaga. And he drinks a cup of Shaga every morning like I do.
Ah.
Identical. He was diabetic when we first met each other 25 years ago. He's not on insulin anymore. He takes one pill. That's it, just like me now. And he contributes it all to Shaga, right? And I said, yeah, I'm kind of bumming. I said, in a sense, I can't wait till camp season's done because I have to go Shaga hunting. I'm out. I told him I'm right down to my last. I got maybe 2 weeks of Shaga left, and that's it. Then I'm done. He shows up the following day. Oh, you probably can't see. With 2 quart jars of Shaga.
Nice.
And he says, if you need a couple more quarts, he says, let me know. I'll drop them off. I go, are you kidding? He says, well, this will get you through, he says, until October 1. I said, those 2 quart jars will get me through until February, for God's sakes. And he says, oh, well, he says, in October, you and I are getting together. He says, I got this Shaga hunting grounds that we'll go to, and each of us can come out of there with 40 to 60 pounds of Shaga after a couple of hours, and all of the Shaga is from waist to shoulder height off the ground.
What?
And he says, you'll find good 10 to 15 pounders. He says, they're all over. He says, you'll love that spot. He says, you'll just love it. And so, yeah, I mean, it was, I got so damn excited. It was almost like having sex. I mean, it was just like, whoa, I'm climaxing, man. All that Shaga in one place. Whoa. Watch it, you old fart.
Mean.
Hey, I may not be as good as I once was, but I'm
as good once as I ever was.
Ever was.
You're good enough for you, right?
That's good.
You don't get any complaints, do you?
I haven't gotten any complaints.
Then you're golden.
You have to have a complaint department to have complaints.
I don't know. I don't have a complaint department at Black Lake. And did I get complaints on Saturday? That's the other part of the story that hasn't been told, and I'm a suspect.
Now, okay. So we talked the bear hunt thing, right? And people out there, have mixed feelings over whether you should hunt bears with dogs and blah blah blah. Oh, Phil, pushing buttons. And the thing is I'm a believer, and that's just my opinion. And I afford everybody their own position on things. But to me, when I lived in northwestern Montana, they ran bears with dogs out there. But they were running bears 6 to 10 miles outside of any community with no private land anywhere near them. They're up in the backcountry running bear and mountain lions with dogs. I had no problem. In fact, most of the dog hunters out there were buddies of mine. Here in Wisconsin, first of all, you can't get lost in Wisconsin. If somebody were to blindfold you and walk you a mile into the woods and drop you off and tell you can't take the blindfold off for an hour, and then we want you to find your own way out, you could sit there for that hour, take the blindfold off, and it doesn't matter which direction you head.
As long as you head in a straight line.
If you head in a straight line, typically within about a mile, you're going to run across the road. You can't get lost in Wisconsin. I don't give a shit what. If you get lost because you're just not thinking straight. You know, you're just not thinking right. But okay,
still trying to figure out this YouTube thing. I don't know.
Yeah, you just can't figure that shit out, can you? That, you know, well, hang in there, Phil. The more you use it, the more you'll learn it.
Yeah.
You can do it, Phil. I have faith.
It did it to me the other night.
So Travis is dealing with this bear dog issue, which is controversial in the state of Wisconsin. A lot of people support it, and a lot of people don't support it. Okay, so I know that, you know, and just talking about it on here is opening me up to people commenting later, you know, yeah, bear dog hater and all that. No, that's not true either. But anyway, now where this conversation takes a different turn, that is all a hunting type position, you know, or opinion. This next part of this same issue becomes very political, Travis, tell us about this gal that was in your campground that wasn't too happy with hunters.
Where do I start? All right, so
like kicking her out, but no, I don't.
Were you caring?
So I'm gonna back up a little bit.
A Karen, a big, yeah, definitely a Karen.
Some context that needs to be had first. So Friday, when I had the hunters in, I took pictures of them and I sent them to our LEO RJ, and I said, I got bear hunters in here. And, you know, he asked me a couple questions like, are they turning dogs loose, this, that, and the other? And I said, well, no. I said, I'm not entirely sure what's going on yet. I'm still figuring that part out. And, you know, a little bit later, I said, well, it turns out they had a bear treat 150 yards or so outside the campground. Or outside, past, you know, not really. I don't even know if it's outside the campground because I don't know where the border of the campground is.
Right.
Is it the back end of Site 7 or is it 100 yards past it? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But either way, I said they had this thing treat 150 yards behind Site 7, and they were in here for over an hour, you know, getting their dogs out. And I'll come talk to you today. So, you know, I'm thinking, I'm going, what is he? What I told you everything I know. Why is he coming to talk to me?
Yeah, Blake.
And, you know, he comes in and he says, well, first of all, unless they're shooting the dog, or not shooting the dog, shooting the bear, or dumping the dogs, they have every right to be in here.
Okay, we already covered that issue.
Yep. So the only reason I brought that back up is because
someone else didn't think so.
Someone else didn't think so. So I wanted to clarify what our LEO's position was. So I'm cleaning bathrooms Saturday and I hear dogs. Not an unusual thing, but they're coming from what would be on the other side of the river that leaves the campground. Well, there's only one way in there, and that's off the forest road or through the campground. And I could just hear this dog going back and forth. And there's another camper that he runs dogs as well, and he said, that dog's on a bear.
Yep.
Well, I finished that bathroom and I moved on to the next, and I've got all the bathrooms clean. And as I'm coming out, oh, by the way, I should mention the whole time there's bear trucks coming in and out.
Yeah.
Bathrooms
with all their dog,
with all their dogs hanging out the side, going.
Yeah.
Arr, arr. How'd I do on that, Bill?
Sounds pretty good, man.
So
I don't know. Stephanie's like, yeah, he can improve that. In the middle of the night,
You do have.
he does
critics
better.
out
He
there.
does better. You know, he does better than that. I'm
So
sure.
I get all the bathrooms clean, and as I'm coming out, I meet a bear truck, and I stop and I talk to him for a minute. He's like, I could tell he's got to go. He's got to go. He said, yeah, good day. Yeah, I got to go. I got a dog I got to find. And I'm okay. I get back on my site. I'm thinking he's just going back there. He's going to pull out his little GPS thing and try and get a fix on this dog, and then he's going to leave.
Hey, Tuna.
Not 15 minutes after I leave my site, this couple comes up, which, by the way, I actually did talk to that couple while I was cleaning bathrooms, and I told them they needed to leash their dog. This comes into the story later, by the way.
Hi, Tim.
And they come up onto my site. We're pissed. I'm sorry, but how can I help? Do you know there's a bear hunter in here? Well, yeah, I saw him drive in. I said hi to him. Do you know what he's doing? He told me he's looking for a dog.
Who let the dogs out?
Right. They ran a bear right through the campground. Well, dogs and bears don't read signs. I'm sorry. If he's trying to get those dogs out, he's got
And your speed bumps on your roads don't slow them down either.
Dude, they don't even slow down the cars.
They don't even slow down the cars.
No, they don't even slow down cars. And it turns out, well, first of all, it took me 2 hours to calm this woman down. She was upset because she said, well, they can't camp in here, can they? I said, well, actually, yes, they can. Not with all 8 of their dogs. There's no limit on the number of dogs they can have. There's a limit on number of people, and with good reason, I might add, but not on dogs.
Yeah, and hopefully someday there will be on dogs.
That would be nice, but...
Yeah, hopefully.
But she all but asked to speak to the manager. I mean, she did. I hate to use the term, but she was a total Karen. Aren't
you a manager?
No.
I'm a host.
They like to call us managers. We're not managers. We're hosts. All we manage to do is keep them damn bathrooms clean and try to keep the campers happy.
And
that's all we manage to do.
And try to keep up with the people that are somehow eating the toilet paper.
What the fuck with eating the toilet paper, man? What's wrong?
I'll tell you what. We talked about this. I had a crapper last week that holds 4 rolls, right? Yep. 4 rolls of toilet paper, and I take one. It's got 2 coat racks or 2 coat hooks in that bathroom, and I stuck a 5th one on that coat hook. Figured if they use it up, they'll see that spare when they're sitting on the crapper. They'll see it on the wall there. They go, oh, there's toilet paper. I went back less than 24 hours later.
It was all gone.
I had a 1/2 inch of toilet paper left on a single roll. The 5th roll was off the wall and gone. The whole bathroom's wiped out. I look down the crapper and I'm going, I should see white down there somewhere.
Right?
No. I've caught them coming out with balls of toilet paper. I'm having trouble lighting my fire pit.
I've heard this story before.
Yep. Yeah. That's okay. I'm old and senile, you fucker. I mean, but no, but my point is 9 times out of 10, there's no reasonable explanation where they went throughout. And now here, just the opposite. Travis can appreciate this. My second loop has 3 campsites on it, right? I've got on 3 campsites right now. They're there tonight. They're there for another week yet. Between those 3 campsites, I have 11 people on 3 campsites. There's 1 bathroom on that loop. I checked the toilet paper yesterday morning, and I cleaned the bathroom, the whole bathroom. But the toilet paper was full up, all brand new rolls, and that's got a 3 rack and a 4 rack. I took the partial roll and set it on top of the first roll that I had opened. So they had 7 full rolls and a partial, about a 1/2 a roll, yesterday morning. I went in there this morning before I headed home to just to take a heads in peek, see if it looked good. What did I find? They hadn't even completely used the partial I had set there. Didn't touch any of those other 7 rolls, and that partial had only been partially used. 11 people. So all the way home, I'm asking myself, are they crapping in the woods and using their own toilet paper? Or are they that sensible and only using what they need to? I think they were sensible folks. That's the impression I get, because they've been there for 9 days already. And that bathroom was the cleanest out of all mine in the campgrounds. And it's got the heaviest volume of use. And they use so much less toilet paper than anybody else. Hey, Oren, it's great to see you there, buddy.
But yeah, getting back to the story, although I still think we got to figure out
this gal.
We got to figure out the disappearing toilet paper mystery someday.
Yeah.
But it turned out that she was a full-on animal rights activist, which, whatever. But it took me 2 hours to calm her down and get her to go away. Now, our LEO said, you should have said, thank you for the report. I'll pass it on to law enforcement. Have a good day, and just shoot her away. And I'm like, that's not customer service.
Right.
So I sat there and I listened to her spew all of this anti-hunting rhetoric. And I was on a Zoom call with this person and Dr. Fred praying that, which I don't even remember what his position is, but either way. And she went down a tangent on the wolf hunting and everything else. And I'm just like, I get it. You're upset. But as I told you, there's nothing I can do about this.
Weren't you wearing your Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources Fish and Wildlife uniform?
No, she was not. And so I finally get rid of her. And not 2 minutes after she leaves, that bear hunter that I mentioned at the beginning of the story that was kind of in a hurry, he came out. And he came up to me and he said, did you have some complainers while I was in here? I said, oh, you have no idea. He said, I bet you I do, because they tore me a new one.
Uh-huh.
He said,
I went after him.
I said, yeah, her and her husband.
Uh-huh.
Telling them, you're the lowest form of life on earth and nobody here likes you.
Speaking for others, that's what's very common. Yeah.
And it just, he's like, I just want to be clear. What are the rules? And I said, well, my understanding is there's only 2 things you can't do in here. You can't shoot the bear because you can't discharge a firearm within 150 yards of the campground. Yeah. And you can't unleash your dogs in here.
Right.
I said, dogs and bears don't read signs.
Yep,
so if your dogs are
simple.
If your dogs are on a bear and they come in here, all I ask is that you do everything you can to corral your dogs and get them out of here so that somebody doesn't get hurt.
Right.
That's it. And he said,
now back to this woman. What did she do when it comes to the Forest Service?
Oh, wait, I'm not done yet. So I got rid of her. I got rid of the bear hunter. Stephanie and I jumped on the truck and we went to go check out Nemacoggin Campground. And then we went and stopped and saw Sty.
Yep.
While we were gone, she started talking to every other camper and handing out anti-hunting flyers.
Yep. That's where I wanted you to go. Yep.
Which, the part that bothers me about that is, first of all, if she wants to talk to the other campers, that's within her right.
Yep. And they got the right to tell her, oh, fuck off. Get off my site. Go away.
Exactly.
It's got nothing to do with you or me.
Right. Because there were actually a couple of campers that told me, you know what, when that bear came tearing through, I grabbed a hold of my dog and then I watched those dogs come through it. And that was the coolest thing I ever saw.
Yeah. I wish I would have been there with a camera.
I know. It would have been cool.
Oh, man. I want that video.
Yeah. I want to see. She riled up a few other campers that I then had to calm down when we got back. The next day, they leave. And then Monday, I have my first service and I get home from work and I've got a message from LEO going, You had another bear? You got a bear in the campground? I had never even thought to let RJ know because, frankly, from the conversation I had from him, he
Didn't
kind of
care.
left with the impression he didn't want to know anymore.
Nope.
So I said, yeah, and I gave him the details, and he said, and somebody complained to the DNR. I said, that I did not know. And he, I said, I'm pretty sure I know who it was, though. And I gave it, and I called him, and we started talking, and he gave me the name, and I said, yep, that's who I thought it was.
Yeah.
And he said, did she do anything else other than complain to you? I said, well, yeah. After the fact, she started
passing out flyers
and everything else. And he said, you should have called me right there. I would have stopped. I would have put a stop to that. I said, why? It's
how?
Right. You going to infringe on her rights?
She's got the right to see if a person wants to talk to her about the issue.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have a right to go around and sticking them under people's windshield wipers or just leaving them on their picnic tables. Or I think, to me, I would have told RJ, you come in here and cite her for littering, Right. But if she's talking to them one-on-one and handing them a flyer, boy, don't get involved. Don't get involved. Right. That's every one of our First Amendment rights. But here, our law enforcement officer is saying, oh, I would have come down and take care of that shit. I would have thrown her out, gotten her out there. What? So Travis and I talked about it a lot. And as hosts, so often we get caught in that middle where people don't understand. We are not a judge. We're not an enforcement officer. We're there to just make sure there's harmony and peace in our campground. Whatever we can possibly do to keep it that way. And Travis did exactly that. He brought order back to his campground. Everything had been settled and everything. She kept going on with her business about telling everybody how wrong everything was. But it didn't drive people to Travis's trailer saying, I'm going to give up my campsite and leave because of her.
Yeah.
No, he didn't have that. So he had brought harmony back to his campground. But yet we've got a Forest Service official implying that what Travis did by not informing him about her and what was going on that way, that Travis was in the wrong. And it's like I told Travis, I said, I'd love to have him come and tell me that I'm wrong about anything. I'll tell him the one thing I am absolutely right about is I'm a volunteer. And guess what? My volunteer agreement can be rescinded within less than a minute. I don't have to give a 2-week notice. I don't have to give a reason, nothing. I can just say, there's the keys. Bye. I'm out of here. I'm no longer volunteering, pal. So don't come and imply anything about me, because I really have no meat in the game other than I want to see our campgrounds be nice, a good place to go camp. And that's the only skin I got in the game is my love for the campground. Otherwise, I don't need any BS from anybody, And we try hard as campground hosts to just keep that peace and harmony in our campgrounds. And some people just don't get it. And I don't care about the legalese. I don't care about the legalese. Oh, this is the law. That's the law. This is legal. That's illegal. I don't give a shit about that. You can go discuss that with the lawyers. I don't care. Go ahead. Go discuss that with the fucking lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a campground host.
And the rules are very black and white.
Calm down. Just calm down.
No, I don't want to.
The rule says blah, blah, blah. And if you don't want to follow it, the person that will enforce that, I'll call them and you can talk to them. Don't do it to me. I
have no power.
I got no skin in the game. So whether you get away with breaking the rule or not, based on that law enforcement officer, that's the outcome. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever.
That reminds me. Remember how I said something to him about their dog off a leash?
Yeah.
That came up in the conversation. We have to put our 3-legged dog on a leash, but he can come in here and run his dogs through here. I said, yes, you have to put your 3-legged dog on a leash. I'm sorry. Well, he gets tangled up and trips on it. I'm sorry. That's the rule.
Got 3 legs,
pets must be leashed unless they only have 3 legs.
Now it goes.
You get more tangled up.
Now our campground supervisor, our top dog, that we have to deal with, that Travis and I directly have to deal with. I had a situation in my campground, and I told them what I did and how I handled it, and I did have one complainer. But when I explained to them why I waived a campground rule, they backed right off. They backed off. They said, oh, I guess I get it. I had a camper, a husband and wife. They came over to visit my site and my information tent. They had this little Lhasa Apso with them that wasn't on a leash. And all of a sudden, I realized that it's not on a leash. That's against campground rules. They got to be on a leash. And I was going to say something to him, but then I realized that dog's moving awful slow. It's like it's having a hard time even keeping up with the two of them walking into my site. We got to chatting, and the gal told me, she says, oh, I can't remember the dog's name now, but she said that the dog, she said he's sweet as can be. You know, he's not going to bark. He's not going to bite. And she said, and I just hate to put a leash on him because this is his last camping trip. And I go, oh, you're not going to bring him with anymore? And she goes, won't be able to. She said, he's got bone cancer. And she said they expect him to last maybe another week or two, and that's it. And I told her, I said, you don't tie that dog up. You don't put that dog on a leash. You don't restrict that dog. He's not going to wander off into somebody else's campsite or nothing. He's going to stick close to the two of you. He's sick, you know? And I said, but if somebody tells you to put him on a leash, you just tell them, go talk to Sty. Because Sty exempted this dog. And I said, absolutely, he's exempted. He is exempted. Well, and I had one camper say, why did they get to let their dog off the leash? And I said, because I exempted that dog. And I explained why. And I said, and there will be no arguing over it. If you don't like it, the number to my supervisor in our office in Hayward is out on the board, pay board out there. Go ahead and drive out there and call them and complain. I don't care, because I'll quit being a host if my supervisor makes me put that dog on a leash. I told our supervisor what happened. He told me, he says, I would have told that gal, get off my site. Yeah, go away. Leave that little dog alone. Just go away. That little dog isn't going to hurt you. He said, I did exactly the right thing. Was
yes, you did.
To not insult or actually cause some emotional damage to the owners of that poor dog.
Well, and here's the thing.
And when they left,
that dog had no mobility issues. It was healthier than a horse.
Well, that's it. I tell you what, I knew a 3-legged dog. You didn't want to get within 100 yards of that damn thing. He'll bite you for sure. He'll catch you and bite you. He was the fastest damn 3-legged dog in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, completely different. I mean, if I could tell the dog was old and suffering and on its last proverbial paw,
yeah,
I would have done the same thing. Mm-hmm. I would have said something about, hey, sure. You don't look like you're doing too hot, buddy.
Yeah, right.
And I would have, asked, I would have eventually got the story like you did, and I would have said, don't worry about it.
Buster was the dog's name.
Buster?
And,
that's a guess.
And he sat there by me. They were in my site for about an hour reading pamphlets and stuff.
Yep.
And Buster sat right with me that whole time while I pet him. He's just watching what they're doing and checking, looking around the site, and I'm petting him. And he got up and he'd walk about 10 feet away from me and kind of look around, come back, sit down, want to be pet again. Mm-hmm. And I could tell. I mean, if you yelled fire, that dog would go, well, I'm fucked. Because I ain't got the energy to run from it.
Yeah.
And that's it, and that's where hosts, like I said, our job really, other than our chores and those type of duties, our job really is just keep harmony and peace in the campground,
And we have
Hey, Blake. Hey, yeah.
And we have discretion. Chris has said that 100 times to both of us.
Right. And he's reminded me so many times, use your own discretion. I'm counting on that, he said.
Yeah, use our discretion to figure out what's right. And unless we really mess up, he's going to back whatever decision we made. A couple of weeks ago, you remember this, I had some hooligans running around the campground throwing waste bins down into the pit.
Yep.
I told
the waste baskets in the outhouses, they're throwing them down the stool, down in the pit.
Down into the vault.
Rats. I would have thrown that little bastard down there with it.
If I had actually caught him.
Caught him. Yeah. I'm going to hold you by the ankles, and I'm going to drop you down there to pick that up and bring it back out with you.
And then we're going to go talk to your parents.
Yeah. And you're going to wear it as a hat all the way back to your campground.
But, I mean, I went in that bathroom. The can was there.
Yep.
They went into that bathroom, and then my daughters went into that bathroom.
Yep.
I mean, Chris said he would have just, he said, as far as I'm concerned, you had enough circumstantial evidence. You could have thrown them out right then and there.
Yeah.
And I would have backed you. Oh, did I tell you about the really nasty bathroom mess I had?
Oh, Blake, what did you say?
I didn't see anything bad.
Oh, no, that shouldn't have been. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's not going to let me re-show. I thought it would let me unhide that, but no.
No, that was not a bad one.
No, that was a good comment.
That was a good one. Jan timed Blake out by accident.
Oh, did that just pop up?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That happens.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't think that was intentional. Because Jan, she's an animal lover.
I don't know if you can at this point.
No, you can't fix it. I tried. So don't worry about it.
I was looking
at
it about it. I can't fix it either.
Now that we all understand, and Blake will be back, in that 5 minutes. So at least it was just a timeout and not booted. Yeah, where I gotta go in and undo it. Yeah.
But so this one was nasty. That's all I can say. And it inspired an idea that I shared with Chris, and he likes this idea. I told him what we need to do. Every bathroom needs to have a shelf. And on that shelf needs to be a box of sandwich bags and maybe a small box of gloves. Underneath that shelf, it needs to say, ladies, please use these baggies to dispose of your feminine products.
Yeah.
Because I had a bathroom that all over the floor, the walls, the can, the side of the stool.
Warning.
That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it to your imagination from there.
Yeah. It has to do with those feminine products and why they exist. Yeah. It was all over everything in that bathroom.
It was nasty.
Yeah. I
concrete one, so I couldn't even just burn it down.
Yeah, I couldn't just. Oops, I dropped a match. But Travis and I talked about that issue, and I had the same concern because they'll throw those products in the waste basket that we have in the bathroom,
and they stink.
And the odor is so bad, and we have a hard time controlling the odor in those bathrooms to start with because people leave the toilet seat open. If they leave the lid open, those gases will come back up in the room. So you're smelling sewage gas. Keep the lid closed and they properly vent and it sucks all that smell right out of there. But that's hard enough to deal with. but then the feminine products in the actual wastebasket can really get bad when it's 90 degrees and 85% humidity. Yeah, it gets bad. Hey, scrapping together. Great to see ya.
So I shared that idea with him, and he thought that was a good one.
Yeah. And it's low cost.
It is.
It's low cost.
Sandwich
It's just little Ziplocs, sandwich bags, and but then with it we got to have a sign: do not dispose of bag in toilet.
Yes, it can go in the wastebasket, but put everything.
Have an arrow. Have that shelf by the corner where the wastebasket is with an arrow saying, "Please dispose of in wastebasket."
Put it in a baggie first. Nobody wants to smell that.
Yeah, right. Or we'll put a 13-gallon bag over your head for 15 minutes. See how you like that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's about how long we can be in those bathrooms cleaning them, and we got to smell.
That's all right, Jan. That's all right. The picking up the phone to get it out of the pickle water. Still got no truck. Can't afford the parts. Oh, bummer. I was telling these folks earlier, Travis, I was telling Phil, next week, I'm going to be spending a lot of my time breaking things down, packing it, and loading my truck up, hauling that stuff home next Wednesday and unloading. Right. And I want to get my camp down to where breakdown I can do in a quarter of a day,
right.
So that I'm ready to go at the end of the season. And Phil asked me, he says, are you ready to spend a week at home sleeping in the old bed and just loafing around home, the convenience and everything? And I told him, I said, I didn't think I'd get to that point, but yeah, I'm at that point now. I have lived off of camp long enough where the amenities at home would feel pretty good. They don't feel that good when I'm here just overnight. I get here at midday Wednesday, leave late Thursday morning. Yeah, it's like I don't get a chance to really
appreciate
any amenities, and but yeah. Hey, Keto Homestead, good to see you, Jess.
Now my perspective on that, Sty, is a little different because in this case, I've been home for 3 days now.
Yeah, but you were working.
I had to go back to work.
Right. So see, the effect is totally different to leave from camp knowing you got to go back and you're back to the old grindstone. You're going back to work, man. And see, if I had to go back to work, I'm probably would be thinking a little different right now. But right now, I don't want to leave camp. But I'm at that point where I almost need to get away from it. Yesterday, I took a hike out to an abandoned, closed campground, Mineral Lake campground, and I actually ended up spending 3 hours on that hike. The video is 24 minutes long of that hike, but I spent 3 hours out there. After I walked through the whole campground, I started walking through it second time, went down to one of the lakeside sites and sat down by the lake for the longest time. I watched these guys fishing not too far out from that spot and watched them pull 3 walleyes out of the lake. So that was kind of cool, just sitting there, relaxing. And I say in that video at the front end, I decided to do that yesterday because I just needed to get away from people. I just needed to get away from people. I deal with people every single day. I've had days where I thought, my campground is empty. There's nobody here. Not a soul, just me. An hour later, somebody pulls into my campsite and they got questions because they're going to come camping in 2 weeks.
Right. It's surprising how many of those you get.
Yeah, and it's never a day. It's never a day that I have any less than 2 stop-ins. And if I'm in my trailer, I'm on the computer or I'm playing PlayStation because I'm taking an afternoon off. I guarantee you within an hour or so of getting involved with something or just sitting in there reading a book, there'll be somebody standing at my door. Excuse me, anybody there? And it's so yesterday, I didn't want to hear the human voice. I didn't want to hear anybody talking to me or asking me nothing or nothing. So I went for a hike through an abandoned campground, and I enjoyed every minute of it, man. It was a blast. 3 hours, and I came out of there back to the campground, and I talked with a bunch of people. But I was refreshed from that 3 hours, so I didn't feel the burden of people, anymore. I managed to get rid of a lot of that by just getting out alone for a while. That's why out at Black Lake, if I were you, the host there, and this is just me, but if I was in Travis's campground being the host, every 2 weeks at least, every 2 weeks, I know with his campground, I'd put a sign up and say, be back in 4 hours. And I'd strike out and hike that trail all the way around the lake. I'd take my sweet ass time about it.
I do that. I'll put a sign up that says I had to run into town or I'll be right back or whatever.
Yep.
I'll go fish. I'll go hike.
Yeah. Because
like you said, it never fails. You get involved with something that's not, because you've said it before. People don't understand that we live out there.
Right. And we do have lives.
And we do non-camp things. We watch TV. We play games,
Yeah.
So, but it never fails. I just get involved with a good movie that I want to watch or a game I want to play, just something to unwind.
Right.
Excuse me. And it becomes a revolving door. I never get back to it.
See, and that's it is I've gotten in the habit now. About every other evening, I'll watch a movie. I just pop it in my laptop and sit back on my bunk and stack the pillows up, got something good to drink and a snack, and I watch a 2-hour movie.
Yep.
Movie's over, lights out, I'm going to bed. Better be quiet out there. Don't freaking bother me because I'm doing that because that's see, the thing is to be the campground host literally 24/7. You're always feeling that in the back of your mind. Any second, somebody's going to ask me something.
Well, you're kind of always on duty. It's not a 9-to-5 job or a 7-to-3 job. It's literally.
But Chris, our supervisor, has told me flat out, you're on duty when you choose to be. He said, if you want a day off and you're in camp and you want a day off, put a sign up that says do not disturb or whatever you want. He says you do have the right to do that. You do have the right to your own personal time. You have the right to say host hours are from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Don't bother me at 8:30 at night, unless it's in an emergency. And I've had a few people now, and I'm going to practice that a little more, where when they come to me and they say, yeah, I got somebody at site such and such, and they're kind of loud over there. Have you talked to them? Well, no.
Oh, that's a good idea, too.
And I say, well,
before you bring me in, have you tried?
Right. You haven't tried to resolve that? You haven't, you had to walk past them to get to my site. Why didn't you stop and have a chat with them? And maybe they would have invited you in for a beer or something, and you could have explained to them. And you could have explained to them they're being too loud, your kids can't sleep or whatever, and you could have resolved it. So why don't you go back and have a talk with them? And if then you guys can't come to an understanding about keeping it peaceful up there, come and get me and I'll go up there and I'll talk to them. But don't always, to me, it's just like these people. I'm not going to tell you what community, but they got free medical. Everything they needed ever medical, they didn't pay for. I drove ambulance for that community. You would not believe. Every single month, we had on an average, 27 ambulance runs per month. That's almost one every single day. But out of those, 60% of them were non-emergency. Kid's got a bloody nose and has been bleeding for 2 hours. I'm in a panic. Put him in the car and go to the doctor. No, we want you to take him in an ambulance. Why? Oh, my kid's got a sliver. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's a bad sliver.
I'm waiting for a hangnail.
And I haven't had any hangnails, but we did have a couple of times slivers. And we'd get there and the EMTs work on it, look at it, and it was like, well, you can just put them in your car and take them down to the hospital. And they go, well, no, we called you guys on purpose. We want you to take them in the ambulance. Well, if we're between here and that hospital, which is 25 miles away, and somebody has a freaking heart attack, we got to have an ambulance from a neighboring community, which is going to take 15 minutes to get there to help that guy. Where if we stay here and you give your kid a ride down there to get that sliver out of his finger, we could be there in less than 5 minutes. I said, think about that, guys. You're really hurting the service, and you could possibly be hurting other people. But that mentality was ground in. We just couldn't get people to quit doing that. And I found that being campground host, it's in every level of life, because a lot of these campers think the host is the catch-all, answer-all. We never have to deal with anything ourselves. We'll just go to him, and he will take care of everything for us. The simplest shit.
Well, yeah, he's the host. And it's his job to make everything better.
I had people come to my campsite and say, do they have basic groceries down at Clam Lake Junction? We stopped there and got a bundle of firewood and some gas. But we were wondering, do you think they have marshmallows there? It's 4 miles away. Go to the fucking store. Go find out. Do you think I work? I don't work for them. I don't know what they have in stock and what they don't. That's, I totally understand when somebody comes to me and asks a question like, do they have a dump station so I can dump my trailer there? Or do they have diesel fuel? Or I didn't notice when we came through, do they have firewood? Those questions I don't mind, but some of these questions are absolutely freaking ridiculous. Or they'll ask me, how many miles is it to Mellon? And I'd say, oh, you must have come in from Clam Lake, huh? Well, no, we came down from Mellon. Well, you should have measured it when you came down. Don't come asking me how many miles it is to someplace you've been. You got a phone? You can look it up.
Here, let me Google that for you.
Yeah. Hey, Cheesehead, the host of this live stream is kind of loud also.
And he complains a lot.
You should turn it down. That ain't my problem.
Yeah, but did you see his
you control your volume.
Did you see his second comment though there, Sty? And complains a lot.
Yeah. But that's a compliment from Cheese. That's
okay.
Yeah, I'm a curmudgeon. See, Cheesehead wasn't here when Phil was calling me curmudgeon earlier. Yeah. You old curmudgeon.
Phil, he hasn't come back yet.
No, he may be tied up now for the evening. Yeah, hey, Tim with Kurt Whipper. It's going to be a long winter, Sty. Well,
it is.
I'm going to be doing a lot of, I'm going to get back on my program schedule. So I'll probably be back to 5 streams a week, the 3 1-hour ones and then the 2 longer ones. And I'll keep myself busy. I'm going to keep myself busy. Yeah. I lost enough damn weight this summer that I don't even know that I could put that much back on in one winter. So that's cool. That's cool.
That is cool.
I kind of hope I put a few pounds on over the winter, a little bit of reserves to burn off. When you first start out at camp, it seems like you work a little harder, where the physical end of it is a little harder in the month of May and first half of June. After that, it's more of the mental strength you have to get through it, because your body is acclimated to doing all the different types of work you do.
Well, and by then you're also just tired of some of the bull.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love doing it. I can't think of a better way to spend my summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are some people that it's like,
oh yeah,
we're outside. I mean, I got to tell you, one of my I've got a new favorite pastime at Black Lake. I don't sit facing the lake anymore. I sit looking through the trail at the bridge
and watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see this.
Yep.
They're trying to get their Instagram feed.
Yep. Well, and that's it. I get a kick out of it because I don't get quite as many in East Twin because we do have cell service. But I noticed I don't see people wandering around with phones, looking at their phones. They're all out kayaking, or they're playing badminton, or they're riding their bikes, and I don't see the technology coming out very often. I did see a kid walking past my site the other day with a great big ass boombox on his shoulder.
What is it, 1983?
Yeah, right. And I yelled over at him. I said, "Did you have that thing on?" And he goes, "Yep." And I go, "Can you hear it?" Because I couldn't hear it. And he goes, "Yeah, I can hear it." And I said, "I'm surprised you have it on that low." And he goes, "Oh, if I turn this up, guess what? It'll be in your dumpster. My dad will make sure of it." And I thought, good for you. His dad didn't say no. He just said, "Don't make others listen to it." And that's cool. I love it. I love it. Gonna have to bring you some sweet corn to fatten you up. Yeah.
The other thing that has been absolutely astounding, Sty, and I'm sure you've seen it too. In fact, I know you have because you commented on it last year when you were staying out for 2 weeks. The things people throw away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfectly good things.
I pulled 6 life jackets out of the dumpster last week.
I couldn't believe that. I mean, life jackets aren't cheap.
No.
I was going to buy a spare to put in the powerboat. And then I decided, no, I'll just take my kayak and vest with me, because no, they're not cheap. I mean, you can get a cheapie for like $18.
Well, and these were cheaper ones.
Yeah, but they're still not cheap, especially a half a dozen of them.
Oh, I know.
And yeah, that's like I found that fishing rod. I found I pulled out all the fishing line out of our, we got those fishing line disposal tubes at the boat landings. And I got this coat hanger. I put a hook on the end of it. I can shove it instead of taking the bottom and unscrewing it. I just shove that coat hanger in there and it pulls the whole wad right out. And what I do is I poked a small hole in the bottom of a Walmart plastic bag, shove that coat hanger in there, put the plastic bag over the neck, and pull all that shit right into the plastic bag.
Yeah.
It works like $1 million. The other day, I emptied Mineral Lake boat landings.
Yeah.
4 high-end fishing lures.
Really?
Two of them were not cheap Raplas. This awesome actual Daredevil brand. Daredevil.
Oh, wow.
And then one I couldn't make out who the maker of that lure was. But those 4 lures, I'm looking at them, I'm going, I just pulled $30 minimum of fishing lures out of that thing that people just threw away.
Yeah.
Why, dummies? I don't know. The orange one you can have.
I don't.
Oh, I don't need it, Cheesehead. I don't need it.
Oh boy, what Cheesehead say now?
Oh no, he's got one of those orange life jackets, you know.
Oh, like the ones I pulled out?
Yeah, yeah. The over the head
Hey.
front panels. Yeah.
I'm not going to say no to them. I don't care.
Absolutely not.
There, that's the picture I was looking for.
But yeah, it's amazing what people throw. Hey, you got to hang on a minute. I got to run this. I got to run it in every stream. I got to, you know.
Go ahead and run your Sty commercial.
This is for my members, my awesome members. It only takes 1 minute, so don't anybody go anywhere. Check this out. Thanks, Matt. Those are some great folks out there, guys. Yeah. Supporters of the channel. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Okay, let's check this out. What do you got there?
That's what I pulled out of the dumpster.
And why would they pitch them? Dummies?
I don't know.
Dummies? There's no good reason.
There is no good reason to pitch those.
No.
None.
No. They just...
They throw away $100.
That, you know, and what it is it's that throwaway mentality that society has today. That
those were the same guys that had the fire pit thing that I showed you.
Yeah, they weren't the brightest crayons in the box to start with. So
let's see if I can find that picture.
If he pulls that up, guys, I'm going to show you. This is the way not to set up your campfire.
Okay? I'll find it. I know I've got it somewhere.
Here
it is. All right, share screen.
Check this out, guys. Oh, that's kind of small, ain't it?
I can zoom it in. Hold on.
Oh,
I think I can zoom it in. Maybe not.
But if you look right dead center, that fire pit is only about if we're lucky, a fourth of the size of the pile of wood that's in it. So I mean, if the term "my cup runneth over" ever applied, there it is. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean,
hold on. I got a view of the whole site that I'll show you. That'll give you an idea of what sort of campers these guys were.
Well, I did have one site up at Beaver where they were where I didn't find out because I hadn't been there for 48 hours, and when I got there, they had gotten in 2 days before I had arrived to check everything out, and I could hear a skill saw running in their generator. I get there and they're cutting up a ton of old pallets for firewood. And it says right in our rules that you're not supposed to be burning any treated wood and or pallets.
Yep.
And here they are, great big stack of wood they had cut up from the pallets. The guy kind of got me though. He says, these are untreated pallets. Look at them. They're untreated. That's untreated wood. I said, you're not allowed to burn the pallets because the damn pallets, for one thing, the biggest thing about it is all the iron in them. I said, you're burning up screws and nails and staples and all that shit in there. No. And he shows me the back of his pickup truck. He's cutting the boards.
He's cutting the flats.
He's cutting all the flat boards down the center and taking the rails with all the staples and nails and shit and throwing them in his truck.
He's burning just the flats.
Yep.
Okay, he got you.
I thought, okay, now that qualifies as milled lumber. You're allowed to burn milled lumber as long as it's not treated. And so he had me. And I was cool with it. I was like, yeah. But then I explained to him, I got somebody coming into the site right next to you, and if they don't like your skill saw, shut it down. I said, out here with a skill saw, out in the middle of the woods.
Run chainsaws.
That too. I think we need a great big sign that says, no unauthorized chainsaw use.
So my chainsaw's okay.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, anybody with the Forest Service, there is a need to run a chainsaw at times. But for the campers, cut your frickin' firewood at home. Or go out in the woods, buck it up to firewood length, and then load it and haul it in. Don't haul it in 8-foot chunks and then think, I'll just use my campsite for processing firewood, you know? No. Again, it's a common sense.
It's a courtesy thing.
Or invest the money in a good electric like I have, and people think you're making margaritas over at your
I know. I keep hearing about these margaritas you make. I'm wondering when I'm going to get one.
Yeah, well. Oh, they cut right to the chase, by the way. I wish I had the cash to go camping and fishing. That's the thing is that this video that's going up, I think that's going up on Monday about Mineral Lake Campground. I mentioned in there for $15 a night, that one site there is just a die for it. It's got a sand beach. I mean, all sand. There's rocks around the edges, but all sand out there. You can see the sand out there 30 feet out. It's beautiful, beautiful. And I said, for $15 a night, you can bet your ass I'd be down there camping. But then I should have corrected myself. I'm old. For me, it's $7.50.
You know,
so I get to stay 2 nights for $15.
There's one thing I wish, and I've told Chris this before too, and I don't misunderstand me. I know off-season camping for you and I, especially if we're in our campgrounds, is free.
They see it as we earned it.
Yes, but I would like to be able to go to
other.
Well, and even I bet you, even if we stayed in the district, although
that's really what I mean is, as long as it's one of our campgrounds within our district, that we could get.
I paid for it when I went to Day Lake
to get a campsite blocked out for us, you know.
Yep. But what I'd like to be able to do is like maybe go up to Washburn, like you and I were talking with Birch Grove. Yeah, I wish they would give us
that's outside of our district, though.
I know, but they can give us that America the Beautiful volunteer pass.
Yeah,
which covers all day use fees. I wish it would cover, even if it's not free camping, at least reduced fee camping.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got your lifetime old person pass, so you're good.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, you're right, but fuck off. I mean,
well, I'm still trying to figure out how you got it, because you're what, 35?
Yeah. Right. Okay.
You've got a fake ID, right?
With 30 years experience. Yeah.
You've got a fake ID though, right?
I tell everybody, you know, I'm 34 with 30 years experience. Yeah. I've been 34 for the last 30 years. Yeah.
See?
But yeah, I'll be a true old fart when I go to camp next spring. I'll be a true 65 then.
But you get what I'm saying? It'd be a nice perk outside of the district.
Oh, wow. Mystic Bunny says we're going to check out Mineral Lake
I
with
just
the
saw that.
canoe in a couple of weeks. Are you coming up, girl?
You better come say hi.
Or they have to come say hi to Sty.
Well, I'd like him to come say hi to me too.
Well,
I've only met him once.
Sure. I've had him camping with me 3 times now.
Oh, just rub it in.
That's it. You know, you have somebody from Indiana that shows up and hangs out with you 3 times in 2 years. That feels pretty freaking good. I feel pretty privileged, man.
No kidding.
They are such a great couple. Yeah, I adore them. I adore them. I have to say this season has been great. Met a lot of actual YouTubers that were following the channel, and I didn't realize who they were until after I met them and talked to them, and then all of a sudden the light comes on and goes, "Ah, yeah, I've seen you in on my channel," and you had those folks down at your campground.
Which was so cool.
That was so neat that they came up to visit. She was looking for a place because she had to do a video conference.
Yep.
And I told her, I said, Campsite 9's open, and it's on the top of the hill. You get the best cell reception right up there. You get good cell reception. And
wait until I get my reservations for Labor Day. Who, me or Sty? Because I can get my reservations right now. I'm curious.
Oh, I can too.
I'm logging in right now.
Well, no, they haven't gotten them yet. They haven't made them yet.
Is that what she said?
Staying Saturday and Sunday, Site 5 at East Twin.
Yeah, because my Site 5 is not reservable.
Oh, okay. Then they got a prime site. There you go, Mystic Bunny. Site 5. That's awesome. That's awesome.
As I say, they ain't staying by me because Site 5 is not reservable. Neither of my Site 5s are reservable.
Mineral Lake is not a small lake. Mineral Lake's not a small lake.
I'm surprised.
I'm
trying to understand why that campground wasn't popular and why it's closed.
No, it was popular. It was almost full all the time.
Then why'd they close it?
Because people they were pirating it. They weren't paying. They had it figured out when the Forest Service would come to empty the tube for the payments. And what they do is they'd show up in the evening of that day.
And they'd stay for 4 days.
And they'd stay for 3 to 5 days and then split and never pay. That's what was going on. They were only collecting about 20% of the fees.
You know how many squatters I've caught at Moose Lake this year? Because there's never been a host at Moose Lake.
Right. Well, that's the way Mineral or Beaver had been. But boy, the word is out now. I mean, because I caught some of the locals doing that, and they went home and they're telling their buddies, "Oh, don't try that shit up there anymore."
Well, and I found it's really easy to catch them if you're in there at 8 o'clock in the morning because they don't expect you that early.
That's it. If you catch them real early, or if you catch them in the evening.
Yes, because there have been times I've gone down there at like 7.
They're all set up and just got there, set in. But they already got their fire going in the fire pit.
And they're eating. No, we just got here. No, we've been here for at least an hour.
Oh, I was just going to head up there. Oh, well, that's all right. Hey, here's an envelope. I got them right on the seat next to me. Here's an envelope.
I'll be happy to take it up there for you.
And I'll very happily drop it in the can for you. I'll just hang out while you fill that out and blah, blah, blah. And,
do the same thing.
And Chris was just laughing. He goes, "You goddamn bill collector." And I said, yeah. In a way I am. Yeah, in a way I am.
I had to have caught a dozen squatters in Moose this year. Wow. Hell, that firework problem I had at Moose, about a month ago?
Yeah.
That was a squatter.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and that's it. That's why Mineral and Lake 3 campgrounds got shut down. Was because of so many squatters. And with squatters, now think about it, it actually makes sense. With squatters, they don't feel the need to pay. They're going to cheat, right? They're going to cheat. And even though they know damn well the guy in the site next to them paid, they're still going to cheat. What do? They leave garbage in the woods and in their fire pit They trash the place because
They're loud.
they don't follow a single rule unless it's by accident because they don't care because they're
Right.
cheaters. They're just going to cheat.
Yes, they do.
No.
Sty is already volunteered. This guy right
Yeah.
here is already volunteered.
That I've already volunteered to take Mineral Lake and Lake 3. And that my hike in there yesterday, I talk about that in my video too, about what it would take to get it put together. I even say, well, that site's got its fire pit missing. I go down the next site and I go, well, there's that site's fire pit. It's sitting at the entrance to this site. They were tearing out, they were going to take the fire pits out, but never finished. They only took 2. And one of them is still sitting there, but it's down by the road.
Mhm.
And the only thing that campground needs is you turn me loose in there for a week with a weed whacker and a lawnmower and a pruner, and you'll be able to drive in there and say, this is in use.
Yeah.
Except the only thing missing, I would need 10 picnic tables.
Oh, they probably pulled those.
Yeah, they're all gone. They're all gone from there. Same with Lake 3. And I would need a good solid 2 to 4 hours to make that outhouse usable again.
Oh God.
Our risers and toilet seats, all that are white. They're made out of they're made out of composite, but they look like porcelain.
Mm-hmm.
This one, you walk in the door and you got to pull the door wide open so you get some light in there to be able to see the toilet because it's so covered in black mold that it's black.
In there.
It's
Put
black.
a new one in.
You could drop a new one in there, but I know I could get that. I know
you could, but
I restored a boat. I restored a boat that the original owner, when I showed him the finished boat, he goes, "That ain't the boat you bought from me." He says, "That boat you bought from me had dark gray decks on it. That's pearl white." I said, "That's the original finish." He goes, "That was all black mold?" I said, "Yeah. You just got to know how to get rid of it. And you can make it look like new." So I could, and I wouldn't mind. It'd take me between 2 and 4 hours to do the whole bathroom, everything inside out, ready to. Yeah, the Queen of England would love to pee in there. and so I even mentioned it in that video. To me personally, it's a real shame it's not open. And Chris had said one of the other arguments was the road maintenance in there. Because when you come in, it's all downhill until you get halfway through the campground. Then it's uphill around the loop. And a lot of people would bring in big campers and use the lower sites. But when they leave, they got to go finish going around the loop. And they'd head up that hill and they'd start spinning their tires because their vehicle doesn't have enough weight to pull that big of a trailer up that steep of a gravel hill.
Right.
And I told them, Chris, sorry, I used to camp in Mineral Lake when it was open. I said, that's really 1 out of 100 that have that issue.
And people really, if you're smart about it, you put it in 4-wheel drive, and that fixes it.
Even if they don't have 4-wheel, all the locals knew. As you approach that curving long hill, accelerate and hit it at about 15 miles an hour, and you're going to come off on the top where it levels out before your tires ever spin. Mm-hmm. I don't care how big of a trailer you're pulling. If you get enough speed, and it's a good road, smooth, so you can get up there. And what they would do is they'd get some of these people, they get 3/4 of the way up, start spinning their tires, and then just keep spinning them. And
instead of backing down and taking another line.
Right. And they would end up leaving big potholes in the gravel road. You'd have to go in and shovel those full again and all that stuff. But I said, I don't care. If I was the host, I'd go there and I'd shovel them in if some moron did that. I said, the whole point is it wouldn't take much. Plus, there's one site. It's only got 3 sites that are water edge sites. But there's a 4th one. You could ease it. The trail would be a little long, like your campsite number 25,
Mm-hmm.
a little long, but the reward, what's at the end, down at the lake's edge, would be people would love that site because it's a big, nice, roomy site, lots of shade, and a good spot for sunshine. Fire pits in the perfect location. You could put a big RV in there, and a beautiful lake spot. But you got to walk down the trail to it. I said we could get 4 of the 10 sites right on the water's edge. He goes, yeah, but it's only 4 sites. I said, what do I have at Beaver? I've got 10 sites, 4 of them on the water.
Yep.
I said, and Beaver's, it's fuller than East Twin all the time. People love it up there. Because the lake is good fishing. It's a remote kind of family type little campground. And I said Mineral was the same way. And I said, so was Lake 3. Lake 3 was worse yet. Only had 3 of the 8 sites were on the water's edge, but there's 2 additional sites that could have had trails that take them right down the water's edge. But what they needed was a big, long common trail because there's this big meadow right on the lake, and there's like a beach. It's not a beach, but it's like a beach, sandy bottom,
Mm-hmm.
and a dam. And people would go in there, 30, 40 people with beach blankets laid out in that meadow, and they're picnicking and hanging out. But only 3 sites were on the lake, but you'd have 30 people down in that meadow, which was just a short walk past one of the campsites down there. And I said, we could put in a nice common access, trail where it links all of the sites to that meadow. I said, and Chris is like, ching, 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 ching. He's like, oh, that sounds so good. You have a good night, Eagles family. The privy at East Twin is so nice that I don't have to bring my domestic toilet to camp there. Yeah, she's got her little she's got one of those porta potty toilets, and they got one of those awesome bathrooms, canvas or not canvas, tent style bathrooms. It's got shower on one side and your toilet on the other. It's awesome.
Okay. That is nice.
And when they were there last, she says, never had to take it out to use it because he was using it when we were camping last summer.
Well,
out on 25.
Let's be honest here. That's because my bathroom got destroyed and nobody told me.
Oh, no. That wasn't the reason. No, it's because after the sun sets, she doesn't want to be hiking over to a bathroom in the dark. And so she wanted that for the convenience sake.
I still feel bad, though, that bathroom was destroyed when they were there. I
wish she would have told me sooner because I would have gone running right to you. Travis, blowout.
SOS, blowout, mayday.
And I remember.
No.
I remember after you cleaned it, and I told you that that Mystic Bunny had gone over there to use it and saw what happened, and it was like no.
I don't blame her one bit. I opened the door.
Nope. I'll never forget just the way you the look on your face was like, oh, you felt. I could tell you felt so bad that a camper had to experience it before you had a chance to get to it, And it was terrible. Hey, good night, Waste, Mike.
Night.
Yeah, but
I still
some of that stuff sticks with you, right? Sticks just like shit on a riser.
Like shit on a riser or a wall or a ceiling
or on the floor.
Still trying to figure out how it got up on the ceiling.
Yeah,
I don't know how that happened. It was.
I was
following it up the wall, and I went, "How the hell did it get up there?"
They threw it up there. They figured out a way.
It's not my fault, Jan, but I still feel bad.
Yeah. state parks here in Indiana. The see, that's it. Is like Copper Falls State Park. Boy, they don't like me. I paid for my annual pass. They kiss my ass. But so I was going to have my say, and I told them flat out, I've never seen more disgusting bathrooms than there are at Copper Falls.
Oh, the Copper Falls bathrooms are horrible.
There had been a blowout, and it was on the walls, on the floor, down the front of the riser. All I needed to do was pee. And I did not want to stand there where I don't have to touch anything and pee. I thought it was going to be too close. And that's the only bathroom that was available right there at the trailhead at the park. And I told him, I said, that is absolutely insane. And you could tell it had not been cleaned for days.
No.
That wasn't, oh, that happened today thing. No, it was not.
Well,
There was toilet paper laying all over on the floors, and
even the modern bathroom is junk.
Yeah. See, they had the modern bathroom shut down when we were there because of COVID.
Right. But
because too many people could go in it. But yet, when I went to use the men's bathroom, the outhouse one, the old style vault, there were 3 guys in there. And it's like, there's no distancing going on in here, but yet they closed the modern bathrooms with running water, flushing toilets. But they
was probably built in the 50s.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised it doesn't have their so-called modern bathroom doesn't have salmon-colored tile on the walls.
No, it's yellow.
Yeah, but I picture salmon.
Yep.
I stayed in a motel
for the flush.
I stayed in a motel like that once, and in the motel office in the lobby, it had a plaque on there that motel was established in 1956.
And never.
That's why everything is salmon colored in the bathroom, the bathtub, the tile on the walls, the sink, salmon colored. Yeah, I get it.
And never renovated.
Hi, Andrew. That's kind of funny though. That I don't mind. I wouldn't care if it's salmon colored or if it's yellow or institutional green. I don't care if it's clean.
Clean.
Yeah.
And they're not. At Copper Falls, they are not clean.
No, there's nothing clean about them at all.
It's just disappointing. You go there and I got to tell you, overall, I am not a huge fan of Wisconsin state parks.
No, I'm not either.
They're not well maintained. They're not well laid out.
The parks, the trails at the parks like Amnican Falls and they, certain parks, they're awesome.
Yeah, I mean their
amenities are insanely nasty and unmaintainted and
yeah. I mean, their campgrounds aren't even really.
Oh, their campgrounds. I hate to even say it, but I've had 5 campers in East Twin this year and 2 up at Beaver that walked away from their campsites at Copper and forfeited those nights and came and stayed in one of my 2 campgrounds because they did not like the campsite to start with, the actual site.
Yeah, they're terrible.
And they did not like the atmosphere. They said there's nobody making people follow any rules there. That they just do whatever the hell they want. They're loud, noisy, and crack. But there's enforcement there from about 10 o'clock in the morning till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, and then they're gone.
All that time they do whatever they want. Hey, Timber Drifter, great to see you.
How long ago was that?
With those folks?
No, he said, I took care of DNR campgrounds for 6 years in the Woodruff Minocqua area. Even if they were fresh and spotless, people would complain. I'm just curious how long ago that was because the last I used to camp in the the Minocqua Woodruff in Hazelhurst area, and I loved it. That 20 years ago.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I don't camp there. I haven't.
The
camped
Crystal
there.
Lake area, I did a lot of camping. Lake Aliquosh was one of my favorites. And,
yeah, I don't know. And I haven't.
When I was down at Indian Mound a couple of years ago, it was just nasty.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, and I talked to our supervisor Chris about it. I said I'm just shocked and amazed. I haven't had a single complainer about my bathrooms yet.
No,
in the whole season. In fact, it's been absolutely the opposite.
Oh yeah, they're always like, oh my God, it's clean.
They're always saying those, and I'm talking to campers that they're telling me we've been camping here for over 30 years, multi-generations camping here. And that's the nicest we've seen the campground as far as no litter, no garbage. And the bathrooms are always, every day, it's like the bathroom's been touched up and freshened, whether it needs it or not. And I said, we're trying to do our best. There's been times I said, I'm not happy with my bathrooms.
Yeah. There's been times
where I feel like, I went too quick, but don't worry about it. Tomorrow I'll get in there and I'll finish. I'll pressure wash the walls and floor.
And I've had it where someone comes out and goes, man, that's the cleanest bathroom I've ever seen. And I look in there and I go, I'm just about to clean it. Come back in about 10 minutes, then you'll see clean.
Yeah. And that's something too, is trying to catch some of these gals that just after you get done, especially when you're doing a full room.
Oh yeah, full top and bottom.
Yep. And some gal comes running up to the door because she saw you just finish and you're heading out. It comes running in and it's humid out. And you tell her, you might want to take a little bit of toilet paper, wipe the seat just before you sit down, because everything, the minute you wipe it, gets wet again. It's just getting wet because all the moisture in the air.
Yep.
And so I kind of try to warn them. And then in some of mine, the roof, the ceiling joists, if I pressure wash, because they got the clear panel ceiling, and it just lets better light in to have those clean. Well, I've had people, they want to get in there right away after I'm done, and I tell them flat out, it's going to be raining in there for the next 15 minutes, because I am not bringing a ladder and climbing up there and dry wiping on the ceiling, So, yeah, it's going to be dripping in there for a while, and yep. But yeah,
overall, it's been I find it to be very rewarding.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh, I have absolutely not a single regret. It's
fun. I mean, you get to know that. And actually, with Stephanie and I talking about maybe going to Nemacoggin, that was one of the big things we were, it's like, I'm going to miss this group and that group and that group. And it's like, I actually told Chris last night, based on some of the things I've learned about what goes on up there, I'm like, I got to be honest with you, I'm starting to tip away from doing Nemacoggin next year. Even though there's sewer and power there. Yeah.
And that's the thing, is certain campgrounds just have a certain charm to them that.
Yep.
And you feel.
He said he's going to try and bury. He said, I think we already have the DNR certifications. I think we can bury you a tank before next year.
Oh, wow. Cool. That's good. That'd be nice.
I said, please do. That would be amazing.
Yeah. I wish I could. That portable tank of yours.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way I could set up a small privy in my trailer with a direct dump line to one of those tanks like yours.
A little creativity, you could.
And, you punch a hole in the floor and blah, 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 blah. But after I do my whole remodel in the trailer this fall and this spring, I'm going to see how much space I have. And if I can put one in there and kind of camouflage it as like a cabinet, I just might do that and get me one of those portables like you got.
And you don't need one as big as I have. You could with a 12-gallon one.
Yeah, it's just me. Or maybe go with just one of those little porta potties, that holds 4 gallons or 5 gallons.
Get a composter.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with a composter.
Okay.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that use them, and I just don't. I just want to take it up, dump it. Yeah. And
Although
the nice thing was
taking it up and dumping it gets old.
well, that's the nice thing with the little portable privies.
Right.
You're only hauling 4 gallons, and you carry it up, and you don't even have to pull the cover. You dump it right down the riser.
Right.
Because it's small enough to handle.
Yep. Yeah, mine. I have to actually pop the vault open.
Yeah.
And it works, but it's a pain, especially when I end up with both tanks full at the same time, because then it's like.
Yeah. Hey, Blake, I wish I could hang out with you for a while, man. That'd be so much fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Never camped in Georgia. Heck, I've never been to Georgia.
No?
No.
Georgia's got its certain charms, too. I've been in every state of the union, but except Hawaii. I have not been to Hawaii. I'd like to go to Hawaii, but now I don't want to go to Hawaii because I don't want to fly no more.
No.
I'm just not into the hassle of flying.
The place I desperately want to go to is Alaska. The problem is if I go there, I probably won't come back.
I like the way a couple of my buddies in northwestern Montana had it figured out. They spent their summers in Alaska, and they spent their winters in Montana. And the way it worked out is they were able to do some of their hunting.
Chuck.
They were able to do some of the hunting in Alaska, like they take a caribou, and but then they come down to Montana and take their elk, and usually Montana has multiple deer tags, and they take a few deer, and they had nice little, well, they weren't that small actually, but nice cottages in the woods in northwestern Montana, right nestled in the mountains. And to them, winter in Montana was comfortable. A lot of snow, but it's always hovering right around 30 degrees is the most common temperature. So they felt that it was comfortable winter. So and then they'd spend their summers up there, Anchorage, Fairbanks, all over. And I liked what they were doing. Yeah. Off to bed. Off nice. To bed. We'll see you there, John.
Oh, but you missed Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck says, well, now I got to go clean the bathroom. Catch you all later.
Yeah. You want to borrow the pressure washer?
He might need it.
Yeah. Because he's so full of it.
Oh, I suppose so. It's
when the sun stays down for a few
morning
months.
Comes early.
Thank me for it. Yeah. I got to wrap this up within 7 minutes anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what then. I'm going to get out of here so you can do that.
Well, I will wrap up then. Yeah. If you're leaving, I shall wrap up.
It was nice to visit with you, Sty.
It was. It was a nice treat to have you come up on the panel tonight and chat with everybody out there. Bunch of great folks again tonight. I got the best people here.
You do. You absolutely do.
I love my audience. They're the best. And I'll tell you what though. As much as I like the hosting thing, as much as I like it, and I probably would do it again, but it wouldn't be the same, pal, if you weren't hosting my neighboring 2 campgrounds.
Having you
just knowing you're there.
I've done it 2 years without you, and having you there as a neighbor that goes through pretty much the same stuff every day.
That's it. You feel you can relate.
Bounce ideas off of and all that. It's made
and we can relate.
Yes,
things. It's so much better.
It is. All right. Well,
wouldn't want it another way.
No, I wouldn't either. So good night, everybody. I'm gonna get out of here. Sty, We'll talk to you later.
You betcha. Have a good one there, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, folks, hey, with that, I think we're going to be wrapping it up. I want to thank everybody for coming and spending their Wednesday evenings with me. It sure helps. It sure helps. Makes my week go by quite quickly with the anticipation. That's why I said it's already been a week. I mean, yeah. I look forward to getting together with you guys so much. So the mosquitoes are the size of bats near Blake. Bring tennis racket. yeah. Well, that's us up here. Come down south Mystic. Just bring some mosquito spray. Yeah. I was surprised this year I didn't have to use as much as I thought I was gonna. My one campground, it's got 3 sites that we consider that the feeding grounds for the skeeters. Yeah, everybody in that campground hopes somebody stays in one of those 3 sites, so that person will attract all the skeeters to them. It seems like the other sites don't suffer so bad if somebody's staying in one of those. Terrible, isn't it? So with that, guys, I want to thank you all for being here and look forward to seeing me next Wednesday. And I got 2 videos going up this week. So, hey, if you haven't, ring my bell and then you'll know when that stuff's getting posted. And you check those videos out. And in the meantime, all of you, take very good care of yourselves and have a very nice week. Now I'm going to grab this pretty girl in the corner. I'm going to dance my way out of here until I see you again. Night, guys.